Welcome back. Love Boat Project, episode 14. I am your host, Mike Taylor. This is my co-host, Mike Robertson. Ahoy, Mike.
We're almost at the point where we'll be able to drive these episode numbers at this point. This is crazy. 14. We're
14.
over halfway done now, the first season.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Right?
It feels like yesterday it was episode 13. And look at us now. Episode.
But it was only 2 weeks to you, dear viewer.
14. That's true. That's true. And joining us this week is Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Hello. I'd like to be considered the OG Jamie if I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't going to bring that up, but this is the second Jamie of the season.
Yeah.
And I was doing a thing where I was referring to Jamie earlier this season as Cool Jamie or Funny Jamie, and that's not fair. So
It's not fair.
you know, Jamie set quite a bar, both with his mustache and his insight. So
He did.
It's a lot of pressure now for us to find a third Jamie. I think this might have been it.
you know what? That's
we spilled
we've
our Jamie bucket. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I think our Jamie bucket is full now.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So welcome aboard. So we are
Thank
here
you.
to talk
Super
about.
excited.
You're welcome. So thank you so much. So we're going to get right into the episode title, Isaac's Double Standard. One more time. And I don't know how this is a word. Chimpanzee shines.
well, you know what that is,
Chimpanzee
right?
shines.
But you know what that
Think
is.
of
That's
that Monkey Shines movie
Monkey
where
Shines,
the
yeah.
helper monkey like killed the.
Yeah, but Monkey Shines, like Project X.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going for, but that was really that was a lot. For as much as I complain about the titles being, lazy, Chimpanzee Shines is like 9 syllables. That was a lot of work for them. Oh man, Mike did not like that joke at all. He just quit.
Right.
There he is.
That's my sign. That's my new thumbs down. Bye.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Bye.
I thought maybe Louise stole your internet connection.
Oh, good one. I'd say they loved the 1970s, loved orangutans and chimpanzees in TV shows and movies.
We'll get into it. I thought, honestly, they were subtle and judicious with the use of the monkey.
I thought so. Right? So. Well, I thought it was
more.
I thought it was a sparing. She was sparingly used.
Right.
In light of the fact that it was like her episode.
Right.
I also think they're a little cavalier about, they walk in, there's a chimp sitting on the bed, and they're just kind of like, hey.
Yeah. Julie was pissed about them taking your carrots, but
Right.
no concerns about a killer monkey on the loose. So.
Well, this is the second time where we've experienced some sort of animal on the loose in the ship. Before it was a male dog that somehow transformed into a female dog that had puppies.
Yeah.
Over the course of a 40-minute TV show. And then this. So I hope that there's more animal hijinks. Maybe can we get like a Mr. Ed? Maybe Mr. Ed's passed away by now. You think?
Oh, I gotta think so, right? How old are
How long do
live?
horses live? I don't know.
Not
Jamie, do you know how long horses live?
5 years.
Look at
No
us.
idea.
We need
Jamie,
a
you're in
horse
the medical
expert.
profession, don't you know?
Yeah, you know
Right,
how
right.
long horses live. So original air date is January 13th, 1978. A segment I like to call What's On? What's On? It's a Saturday night. 2 new things, Mike. 2 new things.
Oh, we're out of Kojak?
It's a special weekend.
Oh.
It's Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, wow. That Super Bowl's early.
So on Saturday night, up against the Love Boat, CBS Super Night at the Super Bowl with Natalie Cole, Peter Falk, Vicki Lawrence, Minnie Pearl, Mel Tillis, Joe Namath, and Andy Williams host an entertainment salute to football and the Super Bowl live from New Orleans.
Okay, we watched the wrong show. We should have watched.
We should have watched that show. I want to see it.
So, does I mean, the answer is yes, right? Vicki Lawrence shows up as Mama, like no doubt.
Oh, with Minnie Pearl, like, and then Minnie Pearl
Right.
comes out like while she's Mama, and
Right.
she's like, yeah, something like
I
that.
don't like.
And,
I don't like. You know what I think about football? It's like, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
and then Mel Tillis comes out and does a song. It just leads right into it. It's an episode of Hee Haw, basically,
It really is.
with Peter Falk and Natalie Cole and Andy
Wasn't
Williams and
the
Joe.
Super- I am 99% sure the Super Bowl was in New Orleans that year. You really couldn't do better than like that.
Well, it's a very Cajun approach. When I look at that lineup, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
they're
Peter
easily
Falk.
in Louisiana.
Peter Falk, classic.
Like, we can't get an Isley brother in there. There's like a million of them.
You know they did a Columbo gumbo joke.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh,
I'm gonna find it. I'm finding that show.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what rhymes with andouille. But I got nothing. I think I'm looking at it wrong.
Trambuie.
So interesting fact, Drambuie. Shmamu. Well, it's not a. Interesting things about the Super Bowl. 2 firsts. Number 1, first Super Bowl to be played in a dome stadium. Number 1. Because at the time there was probably only the Astrodome, I think.
Probably. Yeah.
Or Metro Dome. I don't know. Also, first Super Bowl to be played in prime time on television.
Really?
wow.
And the viewers, 78 million viewers of the Super Bowl. That saw the Cowboys beat the Broncos 27-10. I'm sad.
So they were all fired up. They were all fired up about Minnie Pearl. Got them all footballed up.
I mean, they got falked. They got falked up because Peter Falk.
I don't want to do a bad Columbo impression, so, but just know I'm thinking it in my
Do you have any
head.
questions? Do you have any last one final question, maybe?
Save it. You know Peter
right.
Falk's on this boat at some point.
Oh, he's waiting. He's on the edge of his seat. Just say it. On ABC, the movie was on from 9 to 11. Movie Police Story, River of Promises.
Ooh.
You'd like to hear a synopsis of that? That TV
Can I?
movie?
Let's see if I. So, River
Please,
of Promises
please,
is
yeah.
this some sort of? It's obviously boat crime. So
Maybe.
I'm wondering if
Pittsburgh.
it's a riverboat gambling ring that Angie Dickinson breaks up. That's my official guess.
Any thoughts, Jamie? Police Story,
Oh.
River of Promises.
Oof. I mean, so many things running through my head right now.
I don't blame you. It's overwhelming. It's
Yeah,
overwhelming.
Absolutely.
A cynical policeman comes face to face with the abuse. I shouldn't be laughing. With the abuse of illegal Mexican nationals. It's timely. Who are fearful of deportation and refuse to testify against their malefactors. Promised
where's the
myself I would
river?
use malefactors in a sentence today, and I did it. With Robert Alda, Julio Medina, and Renee Enriquez.
Where's the river?
I'm guessing it's like
The
the
Rio, Grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that means the big river in Espanol. maybe.
That's why Police Story isn't.
Yeah, it's
That's why we're not doing Police Story Project.
or you
Right.
could find out about a monkey that steals things for an hour. Come on.
Or
on,
Vicki
who's watching
Lawrence and
that?
Minnie Pearl doing
Or-
hilarious
right.
elderly comedy.
You know, get the Falk out of here. Come on. Wow. Here's the episode summary. Isaac's mother becomes possessive. A bitter, once married couple reunites to entertain on board, and a jewel-stealing ape robs a passenger. Let me just say this: they don't even mention the note. Like that was just a vehicle
Well,
to save him
did-
from getting fired.
Was this a you summary or did you
No,
pull
no.
that from somewhere?
I pulled the summary. Yeah, this was
Isaac's mom did not get possessive. Spoiler. Like that is.
I know. Yeah.
That is a terrible summary.
I know. This was
Bad job,
the
Team
IMDb summary of the episode. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
okay, let's
A
go with
couple
it.
weeks in a row, they've been kind of off because that one a couple weeks ago where we had the runaway girl and everything, and they made it sound a lot more lewd than it actually was.
Oh, hashtag bows. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It did. It did. So that's what we're kind of in for. So let's talk about the guest stars. Don Adams. played Lenny Kamen.
Hmm.
Are you familiar with the Get Smart, Jamie? Fan of the Get Smart?
I am a fan of the Get Smart. Yeah, my dad
Inspector
used to watch
Gadget
that a
too.
lot. Hmm.
It was a funny show. It was a great
Yeah.
show. Interesting thing here about Get Smart. Get Smart was written as a vehicle for our old friend Mickey Doyle to be
Really?
piloted on ABC. When ABC turned it down, NBC picked it up and cast Adams in the role because he was already under contract.
Can't even imagine somebody else doing that.
I can't. And Mickey Doyle doing it? I don't even know how you would. Like, he doesn't, his delivery isn't snappy.
Mm-mm.
Tom Poston,
Maybe-
he was,
Maybe it would have been a different show, but yeah.
it would have been slower.
Well,
Like-
I will say, I mean, the Mickey O'Day
Mickey,
effort by Tom Poston gave me a much better sense of his range.
I said
So,
Mickey Doyle, didn't I?
I was gonna let it go, but it was Mickey O'Day. Yeah.
Yeah, don't let that go. Don't let that
Well,
go.
you
What's
know, I
wrong
don't know.
with
Maybe
me?
Mickey Doyle was a completely different person. I mean, I'm sure there's a
Sounded
Mickey
good.
Doyle out there.
There is a Mickey Doyle. Attention. So yeah, so I thought that was kind of an interesting crossover.
And Don Adams, of
between
course.
the two.
Yeah.
Don Adams, of course, ended up essentially being Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Since they
So that's
just
just kinda
ripped his
interesting.
voice off for the cartoon. Yeah. So
It was weird to see him without his hair like moose down or like, you know what I mean, flat. Like he
Mhm.
was just kind of like relaxed in that way. I thought that was kind of weird.
he was very of the late 70s fashion in this
Oh, yeah.
episode, between the perm and the classic sweater tied over your neck at one point.
I don't know how they kept him there so long. I've tried that before and they sort of like untie themselves or fall off. Like if I'm at like a yachting event or a boating event, I like to have something. Pearl Bailey as Millie Washington, mother of Isaac. So much to say about her, but actress, singer, author, an amazing amount of TV appearances, and most of them were as herself.
Yeah.
She won like the Presidential Medal of Honor awarded by Ronald Reagan. Like she was just this amazing person.
So it was
Hmm.
funny. I was trying to remember, like, Pearl Bailey just feels like one of those people when we were growing up that, like, you just knew who Pearl Bailey was.
It's a name, you know.
Mhm.
And, like, her voice, everything was just like, she was very, like, ubiquitous. And I was like, what am I thinking? And I'm thinking, oh, it's the Muppet Show or something like that. But is there like
You're
a
not
movie?
thinking
And I
Earl the
looked it up.
Pearl Washington, are you?
You know what it is?
Hmm.
It's Duncan Hines cookie commercials. And I went down a rabbit hole of YouTube where in the mid 80s, she was their spokesman for like Duncan Hines chocolate chip cookies or all these cookies. And it would be her and a kid. And it would just be like her going, honey, these new chocolate chip cookies are fantastic. And this kid would be like, next to her all excited. And then they'd be like, oh, these are the best cookies you ever had. And they would like show soft cookies being made and everything. It was great. I really wanted cookies after I watched it. But I think that's where I know Pearl Bailey the most from.
Interesting.
From super culture.
Interesting. Wow. That's kind of cool. I did see something where she was like, she worked with a couple different companies, but I think I knew the name more than I knew who she was. Like I was kind of disappointed I didn't know who she was. Like I know that name. But next as a guest star is Nanette Fabry. Another interesting little loop. She played Catherine Romano, the mother of lead character Anne Romano, on One Day at a Time, aka Stacy Steubing, from episode 1 of The Love Boat.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Boom.
Because you know who else's mom she ended up being that I think I maybe knew her from? Remember Coach?
Yes.
Yes.
wife. His
Mhm.
girlfriend, wife, or whatever. That was her too. So her face looked very familiar.
Yeah. God, I used to love Coach. Dauber. Oh.
Dauber, yeah.
We got a couple other weird loops in this one too. So now it's on to Kim Langford. She played Ann Parker. Interesting thing here. She was cast as the female lead opposite Joe Namath.
In the
In the
Super Bowl
short-
thing?
Yeah, right. in the short-lived NBC sitcom The Waverly Wonders. What's that about? Well,
Hmm.
it was conceived as a vehicle for Namath. He had just retired from the Los Angeles Rams after the 1977 season. The show focused on the misadventures of Joe Casey, a washed-up professional basketball player who now teaches history at Waverly High School and coached the school's basketball team, the Waverly Wonders.
So it's hang
hijinks.
time.
It is kind of hang time, or
Yeah,
or
it
it's a Mr. Cooper type situation.
Yeah. I want to see that. Did they ever make an episode or no?
Yeah, it was just short-lived, but it's out there.
Shit, we are doing the wrong shows.
Well, that wouldn't have been quick.
I
There's
would
like,
have watched
we would
all
have been
these Joe
done.
Namath shows now. So-
We could have done the Waverly Wonders 7 times. They probably have 2 episodes.
Well, I gotta tell you something. Based on this performance,
Yeah.
I think Joe Namath might have been the better actor out of him and Kim Langford. She was not bringing a lot of heat to that role.
She was good at fainting.
Wearing was that Kim Langford?
Wait,
was it the
maybe I have it
daughter?
wrong. Oh, Anne is the daughter. Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
she's
that
great
makes
at wearing a badge over her nose
great
and
wearing
somehow not
bandage,
seeing
yeah.
a chimpanzee 2
Yeah,
feet
and
away
having the
from her.
worst peripheral
Twice.
vision of all time. Yeah.
She's terrible. Allie Ann McCleary as Cynthia Parker. We got another weird loop going on. She played the recurring role of Arthur Carlson's wife, Carmen, on WKRP in Cincinnati.
The big guy's wife?
Yes. I thought that was very interesting. I didn't catch that.
I'm excited for all the KRP people to start rolling in here. The fact
It's-
that we've
it's
only had
starting to
one.
happen.
Yeah.
And then, last but certainly not least, we need to talk about Louise. And let me tell you, there's not a lot of information out there. If you try to track down the individual information of a chimp, it's not easy. But with the connections I have and the research I've able to accomplish, I did pull some facts about Louise. I don't have much, but it's pretty crazy what happened to Louise.
Oh no.
This was Louise's only TV appearance. Okay. Never to appear on film again. But went on to marry Gene Garber in mid-1978, which led to his mid-season trade to the Atlanta Braves. Scandal. When asked, Gene Garber said, "I didn't want the boys to be involved." End quote.
I mean, are you waiting for me to sell this bit?
Just,
Okay.
just let it go away.
I was surprised because I
Blow away.
looked up. I also looked up Louise legitimately.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because I really just assumed every movie in the 70s had a monkey, right? Or a TV show had a monkey.
Yeah.
So I figured it would be like, oh, it's Every Which Way But Loose, and it's Lance Link,
Oh,
and it's all these
BJ
things.
and the
And that
Bear.
was it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Louise was difficult to work with.
I'm sure Louise went on to test many different cosmetics.
Oh,
Or
maybe she went off the boat. Maybe when she was running away from Gopher at the end of the show, she just kept on running to
well,
freedom.
based on
Let's
that,
hope so.
let's hope so.
Yeah.
I don't think they can swim. In fact, at the zoo here, the water, there's a monkey island, and there's a monkey island,
That's
and the
right.
water surrounding it is like a foot deep, but they don't know it.
Well, sure, yeah. It's trust.
Therefore, monkeys. I'm just saying. I don't think any monkey would so willingly run back on a. It's a lot of speculation on my part.
This
I
was-
apologize.
This was definitely the biggest disappointment of not having the porthole introductions, because there would have been a
And
hilarious picture of Louise looking up and doing the big teeth thing,
Uh-huh.
or even
portal.
spinning,
something. So
you know what I mean, like one of those
dramatic
kind of
turn,
things.
yeah. So that was
Yeah.
the biggest disappointment so far this season. I feel like they should retroactively next season go back and put her in.
Like, add the portholes,
as soon as the
track down
portals come back.
Louise.
Yeah.
Call Gene Garber, see if Louise will agree to him. All right. So, anything else to cover before we get started?
I have one thing. So I was curious because, again, like we said, the chimpanzee shines storyline is so different and everything. I was like, oh, I wonder if that writer was like a established person, or that he maybe focused on monkey script writing. Turns out, kind of focused on monkey script writing. The author of that storyline was Bernie Kahn. It was the only thing he ever wrote for the Love Boat. This was it, one and done. He did the chimpanzee storyline, and that was it.
And that's it.
He wrote
That's
for a
enough.
bunch of other things, but this is the only Love Boat, which is rare because we seem to have a staff of writers so far. But he also is credited, he's got a story credit for 1971's Disney classic, The Barefoot Executive. Do you remember the plot of The Barefoot Executive?
No,
I can't
unfortunately, I
say
don't.
know.
Stars Kurt Russell, a mailroom clerk, and a chimp team up to pick hit TV shows. So this guy's got one move. He's got one bit. So
Oof, that's an incredibly specific plot.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
How long is that? What's the runtime on that?
I mean, it's a Disney movie. It's
gimmick is-
88 minutes. Like,
Oh.
so it's just like
Oh.
I probably had it in an eggshell at the video store. So
Oh, yeah. I'm one of those big
Mhm.
fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen that. That's funny.
yeah, but it's just funny because it was like, did Aaron Spelling go like, all right, we got a monkey this week. Get the best damn monkey writer we got.
I want the best
Give me
damn.
Bernie Kahn.
Give me the best simian writers you can find.
Don't get that Mr. Ed writer.
Mm-mm, I don't want that horse crap. Straight
Horse-
chimpanzee
Versus
humor.
Ed, maybe.
So funny. So funny. Hey, let me ask you, Jamie. So leading up to this, before we get into the recap, how familiar are you with the Love Boat? Did you like it? Like that sort of thing. Like, what was your take on it?
I mean, I definitely remember watching it when I was a kid. And then of course enjoying what you guys have been doing. So, but I feel like this
I mean, who could
episode
blame
was
you,
kind of,
really?
I know, right? I feel like this episode was made for me specifically. I
agree.
enjoyed it. Love the slapstick comedy. Really feel that this one was made for me.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not one of those ones. We've had some that are just like weirdly like dramatic or like deep for some reason.
Yeah.
And we don't need that on the Love Boat.
No,
This was light.
this is exactly what we
Except for
needed.
Pearl Bailey slapping the taste out of Isaac's mouth. This was a pretty
Awesome, man.
pretty non-dramatic episode.
Yeah,
So-
that was we'll get to that. Well, again, I do appreciate you joining. So we're just going to go right into our deep dive. We're going to talk about the episode. So we are ready to get on the boat. So show opens. We see Gopher arriving late for work, clutching a bag that clearly contains some sort of live something. A person. What? Are you kidding? No one's again, just another sign that there's no security on this boat. How the
Well,
hell are you letting that in? Like, at least not
he
seeing what it
works.
is.
He works there. That's fine. I understand. But he talks to Julie for like a minute, and she just kind of is like, "Why are you late?" Ignoring the bag that's moving around. So-
Yeah, that I just couldn't get past the. Again, they love to paint with a wide stroke on the show, but I was like, okay, we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. Can you imagine
it
seeing
was
that?
like it did strain credulity a little bit, as opposed to this otherwise tightly plotted, episode.
I'm starting to think Julie's a little medicated. Like if she
Well,
sees
here's the
something
thing.
like this, and she's just like,
But here's the thing: didn't we learn last week
Hmm.
that there's a ship, an employee entrance when
Right,
Bob Crane
right.
was trying to get in?
and they were giving him crap for not using it too.
Julie gave him more crap for bringing
Mhm.
a lady into the entrance than she did for Gopher with this what could have been a kidnap victim in that bag. So, but I was
Which
more
is weird.
concerned.
Yeah.
More concerned about Julie's lovely white pantsuit outfit,
Oh no, not again.
which I'm sure is not relevant to later points.
Okay,
She
this is
does
number-
enjoy
this is-
those pantsuits.
It
It was,
this is
it
the
was a good
third
look.
one in a row. It's oh boy.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
We'll see. We'll see. Captain Stooping asked Julie why he hasn't seen Gopher. And she suggests that maybe he had a flat tire. Wah, wah, wah. Because that's what he told Julie why he was late, that he had a flat tire. So I love the wah, wah, wah. Again, let's really.
Stupid's got the knives out for Gopher already.
I like that Julie kind of, was like, oh, I didn't see
This was
him.
a
Maybe it was a
very-
little person.
This was a very low Julie episode, but made me feel good about Julie after several weeks of we've had some struggles with Julie. I think she did a good job here, except for ignoring Gopher's monkey in a bag. But
I wonder, like, I would think that monkeys would be a bite hazard too. Like the more I think about it, like that's
I think it's a very trained monkey, though. It's a very domesticated monkey.
even
If
on
anything,
set,
it's
I bet
too
it's a danger.
domesticated.
maybe. Well, there's a lot more to come on the monkey thing. Let me Julie welcomes aboard Cynthia Parker and her daughter Anne, who's wearing a giant white bandage across her face. Cynthia pulls Julie aside and tells her that Anne is self-conscious about her nose. No kidding. And asks Julie, well, who did your nose? Julie says the man upstairs. Cynthia says how lucky she is to live in a doctor's building. Oh, okay.
No,
Kick the door in.
they address it later. We later find out that the doctor, the rhinoplastologist, told her weeks ago she could have taken the bandages off.
Mm-hmm.
So she's, let's call it 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks outside of surgery, and you're still wearing the bandage. I'm not sure you should have been on this cruise.
Can we
You've
get
got-
a timetable? I mean, Jamie,
you've
you're in
got-
the medical field. Yeah, Can we?
What's that thing look like? Like, you take a cast off. That's
I mean, I gotta
gross.
tell you, I don't know about you, but I didn't think that there was gonna be, perfection underneath
Yeah.
that bandage. But
Yeah.
hey,
The tan lines alone.
Do you have any extra wide hat,
Mm-hmm.
a hood? Yeah, but as I was thinking about it, like if she got a nose job, if it was purely a cosmetic procedure, well, I mean, the intent of that procedure is to get to the end result, right?
Right.
To be able to go, look, my nose isn't all crazy or whatever it looked like or was perceived to look like. So you're telling me she hasn't peeked at that nose. You better stop it. You better stop it.
Yeah. It's really not about the bandage at that point. She's got some issues, I think.
Like, lady, put your crystal blue eyes away. Nobody's got time for that. You know brown eyes rule anyway. Don't even worry about it, ma'am. Awful. We see Isaac anxiously asking Gopher if his mom has boarded yet. And then I put a note and I went, wait a minute. Did Gopher just like throw whatever it is in his room and come running back to do his job? Because he's been gone for literally 35 seconds.
How long does it take to let a monkey do it? I mean, the monkey can get into the doors anyway.
Apparently he knows where Gopher's room is too. So you could just, here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Or ma'am. I don't know what you'd call that. Ma'am.
Man,
Miss?
yeah.
A female
Ms.
monkey? Ma'am? Yeah.
Ms.
Ms. That's right. Ms. Gopher says she hasn't, but that there's plenty of time remaining for passengers to arrive. Isaac saying it's her first real vacation since her husband passed away.
Actual details about
Actual
about
details.
Isaac.
We're
Yeah,
learning a
yeah.
little more about Isaac, which I like. A few seconds later, Isaac's current squeeze, Charlene, boards the ship and explains that she's got tired of waiting for him in port. So she decided, why not book a cruise? Which it's kind of a stalkerish sort of thing, I think. Like,
Well, they're dating.
yeah.
They're dating.
Okay, so if I worked at a hotel, okay,
Right.
let's just use this logic.
Okay. I'm
I'm Mikey Hilton and I work at the Hilton.
right.
And I start dating somebody, and that person goes, you know what, I'm just going to stay at the Hilton while, I'm just coming to stay there for a week. And I'm like, because you work there. It's the same thing in my mind. It's just,
Yeah,
it's a
but
little
she would have
creepy.
had to, because I do have this note. So she it was a surprise, right? So she would have had to book a room, even though she's probably going to stay in Isaac's Barry Keys room. Like,
Mm.
because what if she had gone to get on the boat and Isaac was busy? She wouldn't have been home without a ticket. So she bought a room for no reason.
She did buy
Right?
it. Yeah, she had to buy a room for no. Well, yeah. Well, they
If
never
Isaac-
showed her room. They only showed Isaac's sweet Barry Keys room.
Right. But if he hadn't, if it was a surprise, then she would have needed to buy a ticket to get onto the boat.
Or
If
she
it
talked
wasn't
to
a
the crew.
surprise, then Isaac would have let her stay in the room and she wouldn't have needed a ticket. So I think she bought a ticket.
I do too. I do too.
My bigger concern is Isaac, that ain't your girlfriend, bub. We saw what you did like 6 weeks ago.
Hasn't even been 6 weeks, man.
That ain't your girlfriend, man.
It's not your girlfriend.
Nope. You better get
She's
your
not a
you better get your life in
award-winning
order.
singer. What's going on?
Exactly.
Where's
Yeah.
Roxy?
Yeah.
Isaac explains my mom's on the cruise, and Charlene says she doesn't mind sharing him with an older woman.
Ew.
Weird. Later, Julie's on hand to greet Isaac's mom, Millie Washington, who leaps to the somewhat accurate conclusion that her son is too busy chasing ladies to make time to welcome her aboard.
Yep.
Pretty
you guys-
straightforward so far.
Did you guys happen to notice what Jamie? Did you notice this, Mike? Did you notice this? What Julie was wearing when she greeted Isaac's mom?
Was it a
I'm
white
sure it was a
jumpsuit?
white. I'm sure it was a
It
white
had to be a
pantsuit
white
because
jumpsuit,
I mean
pantsuit.
it's the same day. We know it's the same day. That'd be crazy to
mean,
go get.
How many
finished, right?
times you need to? That's quick.
She
That's
is
quick.
wearing her blue blazer and red shirt. That is 3 weeks in a row that we have had continuity errors. 3.
Already.
3 in a
Wow.
row.
I didn't
It's
know. I didn't pick up on that.
Mike, well, you can't get something by
Ridiculous.
Mike. Hey, good luck.
I said I was going to quit the show if they did it 3 weeks in a row. So
We went to dinner and Mike said, "Didn't you wear that last time I saw you?" And I was like, "Mike, it was like 6 months ago." And he was like,
well, we know
You have an
your
impeccable
continuity is
memory.
terrible.
"That's right. That's right." That's so funny. Julie welcomes aboard Mitzi Monroe, a performer she hired to entertain the cruise's passengers, who's boldly dressed in yellow from head to toe. A lot of
She
yellow.
looks like the
It was
ward-
a lot of yellow.
She looks like the ward of Curious George.
Right.
Oh, the man in the yellow, man in the yellow hat. You know, I meant to ask you earlier too, Jamie. Have you ever been on a cruise before?
I have not.
You have not.
I have not. Yeah, I don't know if I can do it. Not being able to see land. I'm concerned about the norovirus and everybody getting sick on the ship and there's nowhere to go. I just have a lot of, I don't know.
Would you avoid poultry if you were on board? Like, what would be your food strategy to avoid,
God.
all those things? Because I wouldn't eat any chicken. I wouldn't eat any. I don't know what I would eat. I would eat chips or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just curious. I
I'm
should have
sticking
asked
with the
earlier.
carbs. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, plus there's a monkey running around.
Right.
No, that's right. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'm sure the poultry's your problem.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Julie excitedly tells her that the pianist she hired to accompany her is dynamite. Enter Lenny Kamen. He wanders over and says, "Who's the banana?" Which I'm on board already. I love this
Yeah.
guy already.
Yeah.
Mitzi groans at the sight of him, and when the two start bickering, she informs Julie and that Lenny is her ex everything except exciting, which I just thought was an amazing line.
They were Lockhorning the crap out of this thing, but they might have been the best Lockhorns we've had.
Yeah, they were great.
It was
They
good.
were great.
It was really good.
What'd you think of the first impressions on these guys, Jamie?
I mean, yeah, loved Lenny, but Mitzi, she was she's something else,
It's a lot. She just looks like a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
hair, a lot of makeup, just a lot of Mitzi.
Yeah. A
I
lot of
agree.
smile, big old smile,
I mean, good for her. Lenny shrugs and says he doesn't mind them recoupling for the purpose of a paid performance. Lenny tells Julie that the two of them were married for 10 years.
Would you believe 10 years?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Ugh. Isaac asks Gopher if his mom got settled in okay, and then glances and sees that Captain Stubing is giving Millie a personalized tour of the ship. How? Again, we go back to this. We talk about this on a weekly basis. He does nothing. He has dinner and he shows people the ship.
I mean, who else
He
would you
does
want to
nothing.
have?
Just
Well,
show
that's
me the
kind of-
bridge. Show him with a wheel, with like a fake background. I don't care.
I mean, there are multiple scenes where Stubing is being charming to Pearl Bailey. I thought we were going to get a little bit of that. Sorry, dentist guy, you're out. Isaac's
I prefer
mom's hooking up with the
captains.
captain.
Things turn.
That would have
Things
been
take a
great.
turn. His little short sets hanging up over a lamp.
I thought it was interesting. It was a nice touch that so Stubing clearly didn't know who Pearl Bailey was, but he recognized Gopher, or she recognized Gopher. So it like gave you the world building that those two hang out and probably crashed at the dentist's house or something, and so they
Some
knew
kind
each
of
other.
hijinks.
Yeah.
Isaac hugs his mom. She says hi to Gopher, and she notices a tear in Isaac's jacket, offers to fix it. Says he's going to need to bring it to her cabin because she doesn't deliver. There's that sassiness that I love so much right there. Just.
I did appreciate that Isaac couldn't get his mom settled in because he was busy working. Because that is not something we hear a lot on this boat.
We never see that.
No one is ever too busy to do anything. Poor Isaac is working all the time. He can't literally take his mom to a cabin. Like 2 weeks ago, Julie is stalking a priest. Doc's lurching on people every day. To your point, Stubing's never driven the boat. Like, good for Isaac.
Well, Isaac was busy refilling peanuts. That's the importance. Like, that's all they showed him do this episode. I don't think I saw him do anything.
There were
He was sneaking off with Charlene an awful lot too.
Yeah.
A lot of breaks.
A lot of breaks.
Yeah.
Like, and I wonder too, like, what kind of shift were they working? Because they're always in uniform, so you never really know. But I would imagine, like, if you're in uniform, you're on the clock, like, throughout the cruise. I would imagine.
So I will say we got a lot of Isaac cash wear this week, which does make sense because he doesn't have the little sailor boy short outfit.
No.
Like everybody else. So there was one scene when he
cloth.
dropped the jacket off, and there was another scene when he had like shorts on and a sweatshirt. So I think he probably works the most like set shift. As opposed to everybody else who kind of seems to be like always working, but not always working, so like Isaac's not going to randomly make you a drink when he's in his shorts and jacket.
Oh, it's like if he doesn't have his red jacket and long pantalones on,
right?
That's not Isaac's bartender. That's just Isaac's man.
Right. That would be weird if you saw a bartender in the wild and just asked them to make you a drink.
What if they were wearing a red jacket and black pants in the woods?
Park your car.
Excuse me.
So.
What? Yeah, that is kind of a valet look. Bow ties just screams valet.
I don't think I thought about it until he had other outfits on, that he is constantly in his uniform and has very few options. They gave him a couple different jackets, but they're all the same idea.
There's a similar scene with Gopher that we'll see a little later on that kind of had me thinking along the same line.
I got thoughts on Gopher's land outfit because it looks a hell of a lot like his boat outfit.
It's very similar. We only see him in that, with a hat or without hat. After she ambles off, talking about Isaac's mom, Charlene walks back over, remarks on the rip in his jacket, offers to fix it, and Isaac asks, "Do you deliver?"
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And she just stares back at him in confusion. Boom. Love it. I love the wah-wah factor. Just like Love it. Love it. It's a sign of and nothing's too serious in this episode so far. I'm on board. Nothing heavy.
Yeah.
No murder, no guns, no.
Yeah, you're very anti the murder plots.
I just want to keep it light. I just want to keep it light on the Love Boat, you know? So, but at least it's not like they're going to have like a 2-part murder mystery aboard the boat coming up.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun. Lenny finds Mitzi doing some writing in the lounge, and the two boast about how awesome their careers are going. And she mentions the Poconos. So I have a couple of Pocono related questions. Luckily, we have a Pocono expert in Jamie. Jamie, first question. Were the resorts in the Poconos a big honeymoon destination in the late 70s? Can you sort of define what it was?
It was a massive honeymoon destination. Lots of commercials of couples walking along, tree-lined paths, horseback riding together, bubble baths in a big champagne bathtub, So yeah, huge destination.
Not like getting out of your champagne bathtub after riding a horse and seeing Mitzi and Lenny bitch at each other for an hour.
Wouldn't you just slide to the bottom? Like, isn't that like a legit drowning hazard if you're not a very tall gentleman or gentle lady? You're going to
I
slide
don't
right
know.
to the bottom of that? No
You've
one's
been
going
You
to hear
climb
you.
out, you
Fly?
lay down on your horse, your heart-shaped bed.
Yeah.
Horse-shaped
Don't bring
bed.
the horse into the hot tub.
That's in Wyoming. That's a whole different scene.
Yeah, big time.
Actually, I
I'm
think
pretty
that's,
sure my parents went on their honeymoon to the Poconos.
Oh wow.
I think.
Interesting.
And they got divorced, just like Mitzi and Lenny. So there you go.
Stay out of the Poconos. That's
Stay out
all
of
I
Poconos.
So let me ask you, question 2 about the Poconos is what happened? Why was it such a destination then? And now there's so many of those places that just aren't, like, they're abandoned or they're at a level that they, much lower than they were. Why did it go from such a destination at this time in the late 70s to not being that destination?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I guess people want more, the glitz and the glamour of maybe the cities or the Caribbean. I'm not sure. It's kind of sad though, because you saw what it used to be, and then now, like you said, there's a lot of abandoned hotels, and yeah, I don't
It's
know.
interesting.
When
Sometimes
was
I
the
wonder.
advent of snowmakers? Do you think maybe it was a big draw because that was a big skiing thing, and then when people figured out how to make their own snow, it became not
That's
as.
a good thought.
I don't
That's
know.
a good thought. Or maybe
Is it because the
airfare
Pocono
law.
500 stopped being there?
Yeah, well, that's bringing
Listen, I
in
spent a lot of time in
all those
Whitehaven. I know my
racing
way
fans.
around the Poconos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
beautiful Mount Airy Lodge is up there as
Oh.
well.
Mount
That's
Airy
right.
Lodge. They used to have Honeymoon Haven. That used to actually be a hotel there. Everything was pink. Mhm.
Like, I wonder if it's I was talking to the other Pocono expert that we all know and love, and she said that she kind of had a theory that it was like the availability or the affordability of airfare related, which I thought was an interesting point. And I was like, what do you mean? She's saying a lot of people from New York would go here because it was so accessible. But what if the price of an airline ticket was of a, at a price where it's affordable and you can go to California or you can go to Vegas or you can go to all these other places. So maybe that, I don't know.
Cheap
That's a
were
good point.
airlines back then. Gee.
I mean,
That's
I
pretty cheap.
don't know. I'd love to see what the average airline ticket cost was in 1970. I don't know what
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe they just became more attractive something took the place of it.
Yeah.
Maybe the Caribbean
Yeah.
took the place of it.
Maybe
It's before they
cruises.
were
You know what?
cruise.
Maybe maybe the killer is already
You're
in the
looking
house.
at it.
It's exactly. It's cruises.
So they bought the competition. Wow, interesting.
Sorry, Poconos.
So, well, thank you for your expert input on the Poconos. I appreciate that.
Anytime. Yeah.
So they're talking about their careers. They just kind of bicker back and forth, one-liners back and forth and back and forth. It was pretty funny. I was pretty entertained. But like at the same time, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. We're good. I get it. Julie enters a room, tells him that her performance isn't worth fighting over. Very, well said, Julie. And she says she'll flip a coin. The winner will perform solo and pay for the other's passage.
I thought this was maybe the best work we've seen Julie do in her actual job. Her job was to get those two to perform, and she basically is like, all right, you don't have to perform together, but one of you's got to pay. And that was the end of it. Like that's why she's the cruise director. We've seen a lot of reasons why maybe she shouldn't be, but this was actually one where I was like, oh, right, Julie's got some chops,
It is. She definitely took a stand. It was definitely like an authoritative, like, this is how it's going to happen. Like, I'm getting a show one way or another. Julie's getting a show. Don't F
I'm
with
not
Julie.
getting Barry Keys again. We're having a show.
No.
Yeah.
It's funny. So Mitzi and Lenny are very worried. They look at because it just doesn't look like they can afford it. And Julie says, I'm glad that's settled, and walks off. And I wrote here, while Lenny and Mitzi give each other the stink eye.
Yeah.
Interesting. I tell you what, I can't imagine sitting down with someone that you were married to for 10 years, and obviously they hadn't seen each other for a while. That would be a nightmare. Like, forget the performance thing, but just getting on a ship and going, oh, God, are you kidding me?
And you got nowhere to go.
Nope. 10 days. Get comfy. Well, I wonder what kind of room they gave them if they were this level of entertainment. I'm sure it wasn't a...
Well, they had different rooms. Well, we saw her room, right?
Yeah.
Or was that supposed to be backstage?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did.
I'm not
see
sure.
Her room.
As someone who maybe wasn't always super mature when I had broken up with somebody, I would have been a real pain in the ass if I was on the boat with an ex and then had to be with them all the time. So these guys were actually professional, at least.
Yeah, I just
hella awkward.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
No, I believe in burning those bridges to the ground and then picking up the ashes and then making mud out of the ashes and then burning that mud.
That act would have gotten real specific and real uncomfortable real quick. So.
Yeah, we wouldn't have made it to like the performance. Like the lines would have been increasingly more personal.
Right. Yeah.
It would have been, but I kind of wish they would have gone that route. Just like, that's good personal. What? Who said that? How about some cheap shots? What?
Why'd you sleep with my brother? What?
Oh, just let it rip. Isaac enters the dining room and notices that his mom is having dinner with a strange gentleman. He wonders, who is that guy? And he walks over to find out. Millie introduces him to her companion. He's a dentist named Roy. He goes on about how her family doesn't need dental care and that Isaac has the best set of chompers in town. All right, that's a good way to... Isaac spots Charlene entering the dining room and sort of excuses himself to get out of there. He's trying to keep all these plates in the air. Well, work. Anyway, he's working right now, right? Red coat.
Break. Mm-hmm. This is one of the breaks, I think.
Yeah.
So
shady. So he spots yeah, go ahead.
I understand the point. You don't want to see your mom out there dating, right? I'm okay if it's happening, but I don't need to see it. Like, I get that.
Right.
So if it had stopped there, understood. Isaac took it too far, but I at least understood the initial sentiment. So
do you think is it because she's with somebody, or is it because she's with somebody and she didn't say something to him leading up to it? Like he knew that she was coming on the ship, so there had to be some
Right.
conversation. I'm just wondering, like, can you
Well, yeah,
really
and I mean,
blame him if she
she
didn't tell him?
basically she basically says the whole episode that she was trying to tell him.
But
So
he's,
now, could that have been a phone call? Probably.
right. Like, how are you
But
trying to tell him?
yeah, but plus, it's the other thing is too. I'm at work, Mom. Like I have to be here,
Right.
so I'm uncomfortable. So she, but I don't think anybody's wrong now. Like Isaac goes further, but I understand why it's awkward.
Yeah. I get that.
I feel bad for Roy. I feel bad for Roy.
I felt super bad for Roy.
Because Roy was like,
nice.
hey, you told Isaac, right? And she's like, yeah. He's like, because I'm not going to go on this boat if you guys didn't clear the air about this. She's like, no, it's fine. And then,
She
man,
was
I'm a
too
dentist.
busy.
I don't need to be putting up with this crap.
She was too busy cutting Duncan Hines promos. I was doing promos all day for Duncan Hines. Man, I'm hungry. I forgot.
Man, they had ones with like chocolate chips and like walnuts and stuff.
Oh. Yeah, we're in direct competition with those elves that live in the tree. Don't say the name. Don't say the name.
They're just cutting down. They're cutting down trees in the back, like that's the commercial.
Not in my yard. I'm a Duncan Hines family. DH.
Did you think? I know he talks a lot more later, but immediate. First of all, Roy Harwood, awesome voice. He's got a tremendous voice. Oh, you know who I thought he sounded like? The Lion King of the Island of Misfit Toys in the Rudolph special.
That's very specific.
It's very specific, but I've seen that thing 1,000 times. He's like, oh, Isaac, I would like for you to let me see your teeth. And it was just like, he had an amazing voice.
I felt like it was the president from 24.
Dennis Haber?
Yeah. Isaac, son.
The pipes.
I want
pipes
you to
on that
know
man.
Just
I'm sorry. You have 4 cavities. We have to drill into your nerve.
I can see like 70s
okay
villain too.
He's Novocaine. He didn't have Novocaine. He would just talk to you and you'd go numb from his smooth dulcet tones.
He's like a smooth villain. He'd be on your teeth and he would just be spraying them with water and he would just be like, remember that money you owe me? All just pleasant. Remember? Oh, it looks like somebody needs a root canal.
I don't want to call you son yet, son.
A little Darth Vader-ish too. I think he was making his push. Like if something happens to James Earl Jones, I could do it.
Oh wow, you think Roy Harwood was going for
the
Vader spot?
God bless Roy Harwood. So Isaac spots Charlene entering the dining room. He excuses himself to whisk his girlfriend off to somewhere private. She remarks on his beautiful teeth, and he grinningly acknowledged that indeed he has the best set of chompers in town.
And he's going to do terrible things with those teeth on that break, I think.
You love that dental confidence, though. You really, really do.
Was that like the second or third like little whisk away that they've done already in the episode?
Yeah.
Like
there's a scene where they're running into a broom closet and the monkey is in there throwing like stolen goods. It's just
just showered with peanuts.
Yeah. Everything's just falling down on top.
I mean, in Charlene's defense, she is a red-blooded American woman, and Isaac's a red-blooded American man.
I feel bad for Charlene because she's being lied to.
She's a pawn in this whole thing.
Yeah, you know why Isaac couldn't come see you in port?
Yeah,
because he's the Travis Kelce of 1978.
Yeah, Charlene's not changing any lyrics for Isaac. Come on.
No, Roxy Blue's like, I'm gonna sing this song and it's gonna rip your friggin' heart out.
This is a rebound. Charlene is clearly a rebound.
Most definitely.
That's the question. Is it a rebound or did he cheat on her with Roxy Blue?
No.
We don't really have a timing.
Oh, because it maybe that was like his, people have like those stupid lists. You know what I mean?
That's
like
bucket list, Roxy Blue?
No, it was like, who's your celebrity?
Okay.
Like, What do they
Hall
call
pass,
Celebrity
yeah.
Hall Pass.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, who would?
Who would Charlene's be?
Yeah,
Billy D. Williams,
Billy Dee Williams.
Roy Harwood.
I mean, if you had to pick somebody from the 70s for your Celebrity Hall Pass, you're
Gene
in
Garber.
78, you got to pick.
I mean, I don't know what Charlene's into. She's into Isaac, so
know.
if that's her type, it
Maybe.
would be.
I mean, he's never around. He's always
It's hard to
working.
be married to the sea. We've learned this about the you
It's
know.
hard. It's not easy. It's a choice you have to make, though.
I just don't think you should be. That was what 7 episodes ago, so that has to be within a couple months.
I would think.
Maybe
Like
that was late
Christmas,
summer, and we're post Christmas now. But that's
post-Christmas.
not right.
Makes sense. Okay.
It would have been great if, like, when they were in that scene in Isaac's room, like, just all this incriminating evidence poured out of the closet or something.
Yeah, a very blue Roxy Blue falls out of his closet. Oh no!
no!
Oh, Isaac, we've read you so wrong. Oh my!
Because Steubing really, I mean, I guess Steubing never really knew, but like Gopher totally could have blown up his spot.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. Elsewhere in the dining room, Mitzi and Lenny are all. They're nearly seated at the same table again. I don't blame either one of them for not wanting to sit at the same table with someone you were married to for 10 years.
No thank
you. I thought it was funny. They march towards the exit. She stays and he goes and he walks out and Lenny like smushes his nose up against the glass. I just thought it made me giggle. Thought it was silly. Yeah, I can't imagine that'd be an awful dinner. Who wants to eat? As Julie dines,
I don't want to eat with strangers on boats.
No,
I don't want to eat with people that are that familiar either. So it's like,
well, same thing. Like I don't want.
This weekend we had dinner with like 12 people.
Communal table.
I knew every one of them for 20 years, basically. So that's the extent of it. You go on these boats and you're having dinner with 12 people that you don't know. That's insane to me.
It's funny because you talked about this dinner in my head. I was like, that sounds fun. Like, where was this? And then I remembered I was at the dinner
for your birthday.
Yeah, I was there. Whoo! Let's get on the boat. Ow! All right. Julie's dining with Gopher, which we've always had questions about. How does are they on duty? They eat? Is this the only place to eat? Whatever it is, I find it very interesting. She asks him why he's filling a doggy bag with food taken off both their plates. He's just being shady, saying he's not hungry at mealtime, so he has snacks for later. Baked potato and carrots in the bag. Okay, baked potato and carrots in the bag so far. Just so you can see the nutritional value that this poor monkey's getting.
Do you not get snacks?
Huh?
Do you think if you're like Gopher so his story is that he's saving it for later, right?
Like that's the only source of food?
Well, I'm saying, like, yeah, if I'm Gopher on a normal non-monkey hiding day and I get peckish at 9:30,
there's no.
Am I screwed? Like, or is there something is there a vending machine?
Maybe it's a cruise policy, no snacking in between meals.
Or no eating after midnight. It's Gremlins rules.
Gremlins, no water in the pool. They drain the pool and they get rid of all the food. Not this time.
And the third one.
The third one.
Whatever
Gremlins
the third one
on
is.
the cruise. Oh, that's funny.
I thought it was odd that she had to eat. She had to ask if she ate her carrots or not.
No. The beginning of the decline of Julie.
Right.
Like,
she's so famished, she can't think straight.
Right.
There's zero chance that someone could convince me. Like, number one, I go, no, I didn't. I would say, no, I didn't. And they go, yeah, you did. I wouldn't go, did I? You know what I mean? There's no part of me that wouldn't there be some sort of carrot taste remaining in your mouth or something? Like, and they're the most basic
unusual.
Carrots when you saw what they were. It was like, what?
Well, it's also weird because, like, within 2 minutes, then she runs back into Gopher after he steals the peanuts, and she's like, "Hi, Gopher! Like, you just left me. I don't say hi to somebody every time they come back in the room."
He's mumbling like, "Hey, needy, you know, geez, I just
Yeah.
left you a second ago.
Yeah.
Don't look in the bag."
Yeah.
Exactly. Cynthia's urging Anne to move her nose bandage and start enjoying herself. But she says she's reluctant because of her fear that the doctor might have like screwed up the nose job.
Well, then you better
Okay.
do that back on shore to find
Right?
out. Isn't there like a return policy? Like, how long is that doctor gonna take a receipt if he screwed up if you don't take the bandage off?
Yeah, but how long do you wait to know? Do you just go, you know what? He might have screwed it up. Keep it on. They're like, "Ma'am, it's been 4 years. It's gross." And she's like, "I don't want
Do
to
you
take any
think it's,
chances. I don't want to be disappointed."
Do you think it's Schrodinger's cat? If you never open the box, you don't know.
Never open the box. You don't know.
So
You don't know. That's funny.
It'd be
we
great if she
see-
had showed up and it was like Jack Napier. Like, it was just like she takes the Joker mask. Like,
That would be awesome. Gopher steals two bowls worth of peanuts. Here we go, the old peanut shuffle. Love it. And then I wrote here, do monkeys even eat peanuts? What would happen if this monkey ate peanuts? And then I was just like, I don't know. I kept answering, monkeys eat peanuts.
they're shells.
Then I'm
right?
like, they would, right? I don't.
They're
they were
shelled
shelled.
peanuts. Yeah.
I'm worried about the salt.
Yeah.
I mean, sodium, like, you know, they don't have like. I
What
don't
a
think
mess.
chimpanzees use
What a-
condiments.
That's just such a mess.
Yeah.
Peanuts are a mess if you do unshell them.
As a human eater of peanuts, it's easy, but you know they're
Yeah.
gonna make. They're gonna, you know.
It's a
you know
shame they
what,
didn't have
that's not
bananas
fair.
on this boat.
How do you not have
Not
a
bananas on
one.
the boat?
Not one banana. Like, not even. I wonder if whatever that guy Bernie Kahn was like. Everybody is gonna write a story where the monkey gets bananas. Not
Bernie
me.
Kahn does
around
not
the
write
block.
stories about bananas and monkeys together.
That's right.
He's
This
like, I will
monkey's
never
eating
have.
carrots and a baked potato.
I will never have a monkey sharing a scene with a banana ever. They will
Yeah.
never, like Heat. Robert
Yeah.
De Niro and Al Pacino will never. Same thing.
Exactly.
I think Heat was actually based on this man's philosophy about the monkey and
It's
the
Michael Mann and Bernie Kahn.
best buds. Wah, wah. And then I'm like, well, who? At this point, you know, you see he's doing this. I'm like, who would trust somebody? And this is me watching it first time. Like, why would it be a monkey? Like, why wouldn't they just use a dog? I know they used a dog, but why? But the 70s loved monkeys. But I'm like, who's gonna? Anyway, at the bar, Isaac is tending. He sneaks off, just a little hungry. Just as still hungry Julie arrives. I apologize. So Gopher steals the peanuts. He asks Gopher, like, what's going on? Where's all the peanuts? He refills the peanuts, steals the peanuts. He kind of sneaks off with the bag of peanuts and baked potato and carrots. And Julie arrives.
Classic meal.
Classic meal. Classic. And she's complaining to Isaac he's not replenishing his peanut supply quickly enough. And Isaac's like, what's going on with all? Wouldn't you call him a supervisor at that point? If something wacky's going on here, sir.
Who is the
ma'am.
boss? It's
Is
Julie.
she the bar manager though?
She.
'Cause I always
we've
thought
talked
food
about
and beverage
this.
would be
We
different.
are. My org chart is
Yeah.
she's above Isaac and Gopher. So yes,
In the
this
same
is
lane, or is she just
Ah.
above him generally?
it's
Or
bar. It
directly?
is Cruise Entertainment. I don't know that he's a
Ooh.
direct report, but I assume Isaac's the top bartender. So
Yeah.
I think Julie is doing Isaac's review at the end of the year as the
Oh,
top
I
bartender.
bet you she just gives out the best reviews. She's not.
Yeah.
I don't think she has the self-esteem to write a bad review because she'd have to like have that conversation at the end of the year. She doesn't like. She couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. Like it's not online. It's in person.
This is why Isaac immediately started hitting the, oh God, someone's stealing, because it was like, next week when he does forget to fill the peanuts, he can be like, oh, it's probably somebody brought a monkey on board.
Probably
again."
that chimp. Just setting it up, hiding
We
in
never
plain
did find
sight.
that dog either. So
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. Wah, wah. Back to the what happened to all the peanuts. Gopher returns to his cabin. We're finally going to see Louise. Calls out Louise, and here comes a chimpanzee dressed out in some sort of like pink dress thing with I don't even know what it was.
Winnie the Pooh rules. Pooh rules.
That's
Bernie
right.
Kahn,
That's right.
not gonna let you have a monkey with no clothes on. A little dignity. A little dignity for the monkeys.
Dignity.
Yeah.
Dignity. I saw that also I saw the monkey had a diaper on, which made me feel a little better. Not to be, kitty, poop jokes, but I'm just saying it. And I say that because Gopher feeds this monkey steak, a baked potato, peanuts, and carrots for dessert. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, what is this going to do to this poor monkey's stomach? It's a 10 bruise.
And that's what we know. So
Like,
we don't know what else
all
he's been
Louise is going
stealing.
to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, and you just hope Louise hasn't developed a taste for flesh at this point after getting this garbage meal. I'm just like, what is going on? It's so dumb. Well, then here comes Julie and Isaac. Boom! They bust into the room, and
Don't even knock.
yeah, don't
That ain't
even.
right.
Or
You
how
gotta
about you lock
not.
the door? Wouldn't you lock the door if you had a monkey in your room?
Well, what if the monkey?
Yes.
But what if the monkey goes wild? I don't want to be trapped. So.
Well, I'm kind of like that dog episode. It could have been a whole different thing. It could have been like that Monkey Shines movie. That monkey could have just been, you know what I mean? Trying to, just saying. Gopher explains he had no choice but to sneak Louise on board because he promised a friend he'd babysit and didn't expect to be on duty. You couldn't find
I thought that was a really good explanation.
That's what you have to do. You have no last resort. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to bring this monkey on this cruise ship now.
It's not a cat. It's not a cat. How many people you know can watch a monkey?
You know how hard it would be to sneak a cat onto a cruise ship. Imagine doing it with a monkey.
I could have you both watch a cat with some confidence. I would not ask you to watch a monkey on last minute notice. I thought that was a legitimate reason. He thought he was off. Turns out he wasn't off. You can't just leave a monkey at home.
I don't think a monkey should be a pet. I'm just going to say that right now. Like, I think that's my biggest issue here. Well, I'm saying with this right now, but
so Gopher's supposed to euthanize that monkey because
I'm just saying, like, it. Number one, who would have a pet monkey, right? Number one, and that's fine. Like, we don't know this person that does whatever. I can't even imagine. But what I'm saying is, knowing what we know about Gopher, right? Is he really the one that you'd want to trust for 10 days and nothing he does says I've been trained on handling monkeys and living with amongst, nothing.
Well, oh yeah, he's not Diana Fossey. It's like I'm pretty sure he has experience with the monkey, but also you're not exactly picking from a full list when you're asking somebody to watch a monkey. Like when you used to watch my cat, that's not a big ask, right? You just go and you fill up the bowl. I figure there's a much lesser availability of doing the monkey. Yeah.
Well, and not to talk about the elephant in the room. When I would take care of your cat, I would check the litter box, and if it was a little too much, you get a little poop out. You try to look out. You know where I'm going? I'm going with the poop part here with the monkey. That place would stink. You're going to have diapers of monkey poop in there after what you just fed that monkey for 10 days? You notice he didn't give that monkey any water. Think about it. That's going to be a dead monkey. There's no way that monkey survived. That monkey, no way. There's no way. R.I.P. dehydrated monkey.
Oh, the salty peanuts.
Salty peanut, everything. Salty peanuts, a loaded baked potato. It's
the driest food.
Just teriyaki carrots. Like, just everything is sodium.
God.
just he's swollen. She's swollen like a tick. There's
Rice
rips in her
cakes, like,
pink
it's just
dress.
like-
She's pooping everywhere. It's just awful. It's just a nightmare situation. Ugh. He makes, or he asked Julie and Isaac to not tell anyone.
I mean, they've kept worse secrets.
Good for them. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. But I mean, really? Okay.
What are you gonna do? That was my question
Hey,
later when
Hey,
like
Captain, there's a monkey loose on the ship.
Right.
We're
Right, but
putting
when-
the passengers at risk. This thing might bite somebody, or like just basic cute, like looking out for other human beings.
there's been no security on this boat the whole time. Monkey
don't
or
need
human alone.
You don't need security. You need a conversation. Hey, there's a monkey on the boat. That's it. That's the entirety of the conversation.
They
Captain
left
Stubing.
Radar in that room to die for a week with that strange dog. They're not worried about
Wow.
that monkey.
That is true. I mean, they had the situation under control. Well, sort of, for the most part. I just still, man, don't tell me you brought a monkey to work, because I will tell Captain Stubing. I will accept the stitches that go with the snitches. I don't care. I'm not dealing with a loose monkey while I'm on vacation. It's never happening. No way, dude.
Just another day as far as they're concerned.
Just another, it's funny. I when I was a little kid, there was a pet store in Bradley Beach, New Jersey, and they had a monkey in this pet store, and the monkey's name was Joey. I'll keep it super quick. And you could bring a lollipop in, and you could hand Joey Spider Monkey, little wiry ones, the real dangerous ones, the ones that go for the eyes. And I gave him, you give him a lollipop, and he would like take the wrapper, and he would eat the lollipop, and then he would just throw the stick at you when you were done. And it was so cool and terrifying at the same time. More terrifying than cool. So I've already got like this. Monkeys have a bit of a dark cloud over their head for me. Like there's
So,
nothing endearing to me about a monkey. Like I just don't.
so if this had
You know
been
what I mean?
Joey, if this had been Joey on the boat instead of
Oh.
Louise, you would have shut that baby down immediately.
You better not. Immediately. Like I'd go, look, Captain, we have two problems. Number one, Joey's on board. Number two, we're almost out of lollipops. You want to deal with that? Just a lot of just scratching and biting. Monkeys are a-holes, man. Like they are awful. All right, kind of back. All right, where were we? Okay.
So to your weird lollipop monkey tangent, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I thought it sounded better in my head before it came out. Cynthia tells Anne, who's locked herself in the bathroom, to come out and meet Doc. Okay. She's refusing to come out. We get to see Doc, which is always great. Doc tells Cynthia, just let her be, and assures her that she'll remove the bandage once she feels ready. And then he goes, let's go get some breakfast. Like,
Yeah.
What? Like,
Doc's,
I mean, I love
Doc's going to
breakfast.
remove some bandages of his own. So.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not messing around.
You-
and then
So do you think this is obviously it's a plot point, right? Because they want to get the mother-daughter thing, but this is by far the most age-appropriate lady that Doc has chased down. So do you think it's
Absolutely.
possible this was a bit of a correction because Doc has been like trolling post-grads at this point?
no, and I'll tell you why.
Because next week he's going to be hooking up with a 20-year-old. So.
Well, in the room that he was in, how many women were in the room? One.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it takes. You know what I mean?
gotcha.
If there were two, it doesn't matter. If the daughter had been in the room, he'd have been like, come here, let me remove your band. He would have done that.
Yeah.
With Doc's on the
Probably. That makes
prowl,
sense.
whenever he's,
I think the mom is older than the twins combined were that he hooked up with a few weeks ago.
oh, by far,
So,
by
yeah.
what would you say? Mid-40s? Would you say this woman?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we decided those twins were 24 each. So
Yeah, so about 48.
Yeah.
Close. It's close.
good for
It's
Doc.
close.
Good for Doc. Sometimes you gotta, maybe he's you know
Take one
what?
for the-
She was
Were you gonna
rich.
say
Maybe
take-
he's gold. Maybe he's gold digging.
Well, that brooch.
Oh yeah.
That brooch is no kidding.
Yeah.
So Cynthia accepts, and she's looking around for her glasses, which is so weird. She's like, have you seen my glasses? Have you seen my glasses? And Doc says, I'm the one that needs sunglasses. You're dazzling. Come on. This
What?
guy. Huh?
What?
Come on. This
Worked?
guy's the smoothest guy in the world. Like,
It's amazing. Don't worry, Mom. You're not going to need glasses where you're going. So
yeah, don't worry. Smell this rag. You know, it's
Yeah.
gonna be bad.
just leave all your identification over here too.
Yeah, leave your ID at home. You know, your thirst for adventure. Bring that with you.
I think
Poor
they
woman.
have found the Doc character. They were searching a little bit, but it's just like he's
Well, 'cause
basically
he's
Dean
funny.
Martin, and it's
He's
great. Like
He
it's
is
just
Dean Martin.
yeah,
I feel like he's
so-
doing a Dean Martin impression the whole time.
Yeah. it's wonderful.
And I will say, so Jamie, we've seen an evolution of a lot of these characters, and specifically with Doc. Look, in the beginning, we were just like, I think my assumption was I think I was under the wrong impression about some of the characters, meaning like I just figured Isaac would be just a womanizer because he's a bartender, and I don't think that's the case necessarily based on some of his interactions. However, with Doc, we know Doc's been married 4 times. He doesn't like a thin woman. But they've added some like likability in the past few episodes.
Right.
Some humor. So it's interesting to see how he's sort of evolving. But I do think it's a level set on him a bit. And I wish they would do the same with Stubing. But
Yeah, Stubing
alas.
didn't get necessarily a lot of work in this one, but yeah, you're right.
No.
He has been the most inconsistent. Although Julie's been pretty inconsistent too. So
yeah. Gopher asked Louise where she got her cool new sunglasses. We're back in Gopher's cabin. Correctly assumes that she stole them while sneaking around the ship. Hold on a second. So we're supposed to believe that this monkey opened the cabin door, right?
right.
Opened another cabin door
Yes.
to take glasses, then to leave the cabin door and to come back to the original cabin when all the cabins, they all sort of look alike, so much so that the woman from the Kathy Bates,
Yes.
remember, she was on the wrong ship and she didn't even know it.
Well, I'm going to
So-
assume that the monkey finds his way back because all the stuff he stole would have his scent.
That's
So
where
that's
you're going
my-
with scent.
That's my theory there. Yeah. And he's really good at, or she is really good at opening doors. We've seen the proof is in the pudding.
You wouldn't
But
try to
no-
lock it
the monkey
somehow so the monkey doesn't get out of your room?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The lock in, there's no explanation there. I guess unless it's like a kid, right? At some point they can open up the door.
I just think it's funny that, he was like, hey, do me a favor, don't tell anybody, instead of saying, I need someone to help me watch this monkey while I'm at work. Instead of just going, I'll be back. See, I'll bring you back a
Yeah.
baked potato and some teriyaki carrots or something.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think Gopher thought this out. It would have been probably easier for him to like sit with people and be like, hey, we need to devise a plan here.
Why didn't you just like not go on this trip or, say he
'Cause
was
he had to
super
work.
sick or something?
He said that. He had to work. He thought he was off and he wasn't. And
Yeah,
clearly Stubing's got it out for him.
he's just,
Plus, last week we just saw they almost fired Bob Crane. They're
the captain's, he's like weirdly strict.
well, I forgot to bring it up, but in the
Mm.
wave shot this week, there's a Princess Cruises signage when they're leaving port, which makes me think that either they're doing really well and can afford signage now, or they're doing really badly and have to have signage. And this is why they're firing everybody. So I think Gopher's like concerned for his job.
Interesting.
There's
Interesting.
probably no union. Is there a purser union?
I'm not entirely sure I fully understand what a purser does. I think it's like a concierge sort of thing. I think. And
I-
Julie's
I-
like, I
I
don't
like that
know.
we
It's
refuse
weird.
to look it up, but yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm not looking it up. No way. Mm-mm.
It's I think it's
Water
Monkey
waiter.
Wrangler.
Yeah, monkey wrangler, right? Yeah, but it's funny. It says how. So he asked Louise, "How are you able to get out of the cabin?" So Louise walks over to the door, turns the knob, and walks out.
Yep.
Wah, wah. And now the monkey's on the loose, and no one's even doing anything. Like, let me ask you: if you're on a cruise, if you're in a hallway in a hotel, and you see a monkey walking towards you in a pink dress, you stop it or you turn it around?
I don't know.
I'm
In a
living.
pink dress, I kind of like probably outstretch my arms and just see if they would come and, you know. Is that a wrong answer? Is that
Jamie, come on. That monkey will rip your face off. I'm telling you, monkeys are no friends to humans. They are vicious. They are
It's not
vicious.
Spider Joe or whatever this horrible monkey you grew up
Joey
with
the
was.
spider monkey. That's it. He was in a cage. I didn't want to mess with him. Like
maybe
he
it's
would.
the pink dress that's throwing me off. Like it just seems so welcoming, you know?
The monkey never really threatens anybody.
I think it's more the presence that's threatening.
It's unusual.
What she's doing. It's very unusual. It's very unusual. Lenny snarls at Mitzi for being late to rehearsal, and after more of their bickering, she starts singing and she's sneezing, and she's blaming him for the air conditioner that's making her sort of hoarse.
That's
So
how you
they're
know
going-
that's how you know you're divorced.
Well, many concerts I've been to, they're like, stop. Why is the air conditioning on? Look what it's doing. Stop it. Sounds like a terrible excuse.
She showed him because she
did
goes
show him.
old school and friggin' slams the piano.
Yes,
once
she does.
again.
Yeah.
My God.
And
That's
it's
a level
funny.
beyond.
So she slams it on his hand, but it only really affects one of his fingers, which just made me laugh. It's like, well, just this one's broken. We slammed on the whole thing. But
I assume he got it out just in
oh,
nick
because
of
it's the
time.
longest finger, just a little.
Right.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair
piano finger.
Piano finger. Fair enough. Gopher stops by Cynthia Ann's cabin. I thought this was an interesting scene. He had returned the sunglasses Louise stole. And Anne, face bandage, opens the door a little bit.
Not much though.
Not much. Not much. Not like I was wondering, and then I was thinking, man, I wonder if they had chains on the door, because that would have been
Yeah.
helpful.
But no.
And he's like, goo goo. You ever see a guy go goo goo, Jamie?
Smitten. Yeah.
Smitten.
Yeah.
Instantly smitten.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. He dreamily coos that she has the most beautiful eyes he's ever seen. Meh. Meh. Whatever.
I mean, to be fair, he spent his whole week with a monkey, so
Right.
But isn't this what you say to people that have giant bandages covering half their face? Oh no, your eyes are beautiful. Like, what else are you gonna say? Great complexion.
it's gauze.
Like, yeah, nice gauze. Like, I like that you went with an earth tone. No, you're gonna go, oh yeah, beautiful eye. Stop it. Gopher's just his tone changed too. He got a little, I don't like his tone. It was weird.
Good for Gopher.
I mean, good for Gopher. Who knew?
I mean, you are buying on spec at some level. She's got her nose covered up and the door is open this much. Like you are, and you got a monkey you got to keep track of. Like this is not the week to start dating.
Imagine she reveals it. She takes the bandage off, and she also has the nose of a chimpanzee.
Oh,
Right?
it's like Twilight.
And it's a-
It's like that Twilight Zone.
It's a whole thing. Like, and she's like, it's a whole. It gets crazy. Something to
That
think
would be
about.
amazing.
That would be good. That'd be good. I'd watch that.
Or that's what Gopher's into.
Sure. He slips the sunglasses to her through the door crack. Asks her if she's an actress or model traveling incognito. Good for him. Waves goodbye, wanders off. Anne is now full of confidence. She's now ready to remove the nose bandage to view her chimpanzee nose that we just talked about.
Which doesn't track, right? Like,
No.
because you still should be worried about, if anything, you should keep the bandage on longer because you've been able to hit on a man successfully with it. And you're still worried about the surgery sucking, right?
Well, yeah, if you made the guy go all turn to
Right.
jelly just
Like
with
maybe
only
this is
seeing
what
like
works. This is what works for me.
maybe I should always obscure
That's what works.
38% of my face. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Like Cyrano
Yeah.
de Bergerac.
Or does that give you confidence going, look, that dude only saw 38% of my face. Look what happened.
Yeah, but if that nose is all effed up,
If your nose is jacked up, that could be a rough 60 something percent right there.
I think
Who
Anne's
knows?
baggage is still there.
Yeah.
Regardless
Yeah.
of
It's funny.
bandage or not.
You can fix your nose, but not your awful disposition, you know?
No, she was nice. She was just dumb as a bag of hammers, I think.
Yeah, she was just stupid as they come.
Yeah.
Poor dumb lady.
Poor
with a
Anne.
giant
Poor
bandage.
Anne.
I mean, to be fair, she hasn't been breathing out of her nose for a month.
But again, why are you coming on a cruise? What are you doing?
Yes, that's yeah. I the only
So
explanation I
stupid.
think is the mom strong armed her.
Oh yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what you need, and so it's just kind of funny. She decides she's gonna remove the bandage just as Cynthia returns for the grand unveiling. Anne tells her to cover her eyes until after the bandage is off, and while this is happening, Louise, who has somehow
Yes.
snuck into the cabin without Anne noticing, Anne again can't see 2 feet
Completely
in front of her.
oblivious.
Right, like
So-
you don't.
You know how like
Yes, sir.
Daredevil's the blind one, right? But all his
Yeah,
other
yeah.
senses
I
are
was
like
thinking the same
sharpened to
thing.
the extreme heights.
Yeah.
She's got her nose covered. And listen, I have the worst peripheral vision in the world. The door opens to her right. A second
Click,
door
click.
opens to her right. There's a
Mhm.
small pink dress running around. Her mom comes in, passes out silently, which is weird. The monkey goes back out. She doesn't hear any of this stuff. And
No,
I think
it's
she's in front of a
completely-
mirror.
Yeah, she has a mirror. Yeah, the whole thing. I'm just like, wait a minute, how the heck did any of this happen?
Right.
So yeah, it's crazy.
She's
So
probably
she
got
faints.
like she's got cotton balls in her ears because she went to the ear doctor like 6 years ago. Was afraid to take
She's
them out.
afraid to take them out. That's a good point. I had tubes in my ears when I was 12. They're
Right.
Still. She's covered in band-aids. I've never taken one off. Again, I wrote a note. How would Louise find her way back to Gopher's cabin? And then I was thinking, you were talking
I
about
like that
smell.
that's the part of the
Huh.
story that you can't get past all the logic for it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it made me think. No. It made me think of smell, and then I was like, wouldn't a chimpanzee like stink after a few days of like? Again, I'm
Oh,
going back
gosh.
to the monkey poop, but they would smell really bad. I would imagine.
Unless they're showering.
You know, I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to sit up and be like, I'm a defender of the way chimpanzees smell worldwide. Or, we need to get the Axe body. This would be a great ad placement right here for Axe body spray. Like when you don't want to smell like a monkey. Just
I mean, so maybe this is very intricately scripted this week. Did Mitzi complaining about the air conditioning indicate that it's an extra cold ship this week, much like a monkey house at the zoo, to cut down on the smell?
I wonder if they were serving
Wow.
ice cream on this one too. A little extra ice
Well,
cream
they-
going on. Maybe we had a little incident. You know,
Just throw old
something
throw old-
expired before
throw
we
old
got
Louise
back
in
to
the
Peru. Back from Ensenada. Millie is dancing with Roy again. Supervillain voice. Isaac and Charlene look on. Isaac tells Charlene he's very suspicious. He's worried because she has no idea what cruise ships are like.
Hmm.
It's like,
Well, first of all, Isaac, be careful, dude, because you almost blew up your own spot
yeah,
to Charlene. Basically
Yeah.
saying that everybody's
Yeah,
banging
true,
on the boat. Yeah.
So Charlene gives him a smooch. At the same time, Millie and Roy start smooching, and Isaac says he intends to put an immediate stop to all this between his mom and Roy. And the only thing that stopped him
Mm,
is
mm,
Charlene again offering up her body to Isaac.
It's the only way she knows how to keep the peace.
That's what she used to work at the UN, and they were just like, ma'am, there are other ways She was like, no. The most effective, ma'am. Charlene. So again, that's the old, she gets him to leave the situation. And I'm sure they go and made Whoopi.
Well, she doesn't want. I mean, she hasn't met the mom, right? Officially,
Although
she
when they
doesn't want
did meet
to
it, they seemed awfully familiar.
They did, but this doesn't seem to be like her intention. She didn't know the mom was going to be on the boat.
Right.
She's clearly there for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole mom drama, that'll be there next week, Isaac. So,
Well, so Isaac stops by his mom's cabin to drop off the jacket that he needs to have fixed.
can we talk
And
about
two-
that shirt he is wearing when he shows up?
Oof. What color is that? It's a earthy.
Yeah. It's like a golf
Big
shirt, long sleeve golf
thing.
shirt. It's got multiple color. It looks. Remember that Cosby episode? It looks like a Gordon Gartrell. Like it's just like got like 15 different things.
That was one of
Going
my
on at
favorite
one time.
episodes.
Exactly. It's a horrible looking shirt, Isaac.
It was bad, and I think it was terry cloth, and it was thick. It was just like bathrobe material. It's very
This is why they
odd.
gave you a red jacket to wear all the time.
Like I feel like somebody left that for him to wear. How's Isaac going to the store? He's like, I'm looking for a robe, but I want it cut like a polo shirt with a
Like, do you
thicker
think
neck. I'm
that's
like, what?
do you think that's the Isaac character bit though? Because remember the Roxy Blue episode? He was wearing that like corduroy leather
Oh God.
whole thing.
pants
like,
and
maybe Isaac's a
jacket.
bad dresser.
I think Isaac's just a bad dresser.
We need to keep track of that. Maybe
Well,
Isaac always wears his uniform because his clothes are awful.
Maybe he just, hypnotizes them with his perfect teeth. They don't even know what he's wearing. Next thing you know, he's got nothing on and these bright teeth. And they're like, damn it, Isaac, you got me again. You
That was
dental.
brutal. And later that sweatshirt, orange sweatshirt, white
Oof.
shorts look ain't good either. So
He shows a lot of chest hair.
yeah.
Like a
we will not
lot
be
of chest hair.
hashtag fashioning this week. That was by
No.
far a bad
No,
look for
hashtag button it up. Hashtag button
Put
it up.
longer shorts on, John Stockton.
Something. Hashtag it's a little chilly in here. Put something on. He warns his mom that a lot of men come on these cruises looking for one thing. And she's just, gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. She bids him good night because she's ready to go to bed, just as Roy, hello.
Mm.
Yeah, Roy's
he
not going
comes.
to bed.
Hello. Roy's awake. Roy's ready to rock your world. Oh, hello, son. Which is
Time to
always
give you a root canal.
wearing a bathrobe too, so you know what's going on.
Yeah, you know what's going on.
You know what's up.
Did you think
Now,
that
was he brushing his teeth too? I think he had a toothbrush in his hand.
always brushing
Yeah,
his
always
He's
brushing
like
his
one of those
teeth.
action figures. He comes with a toothbrush.
I sleep
I
with
love
one
an
of these
action figure of
SOBs.
Roy Harwood.
Look at me. I sleep with one in my mouth, and I just move it like this all night long. Teeth are
Did you
bright
think
like
it was
a roasted
odd
dog.
that they used roommates to describe their relationship?
I think that's the soft approach. I mean,
Yeah.
It was just an odd. Roommates is just such a odd word to use in that we're living together. I didn't expect them to say, "Oh, we're banging," like, but it was like,
I remember in crazier times when I was a bit younger, I had to unfortunately move back home. Way past the year you should move back home, and I described the people, my parents, as my roommates.
oh,
As I would have to walk through the common area. Excuse me, while I walk through the common area. I'll mute my phone because I'm
AKA
walking past,
living room.
aka living room. Hashtag lots to offer. Hashtag lots to offer. All right, so
somebody should have slapped you.
yeah, she should have
Right?
slapped me. She should have slapped me. A stunned Isaac makes it clear how appalled he is. Millie explains that she and Roy came on the cruise together,
Yeah.
and that they're in love. She's not quite ready to accept the marriage proposal.
And
What
why
does
is she
Isaac
not
say,
quite
Mike?
ready to?
Mm. And what does Isaac say? That instead of getting married, you want to be some sort of swinger.
And man, he doesn't
And
even get good
crap.
out. He gets
Smack the crap out of him.
drilled.
That's an old
That was
school
great.
smack too. That's like
Yeah.
she
So,
could
Mike-
give a smack.
First slap, like any physical, right? I couldn't think of one.
Yeah, because even the guy with the gun didn't
Right, he just kind of poked
smack
at him.
anybody. He just poked him a little
He
bit
didn't touch him
until
really.
he heard Christmas carols.
That's
I'm trying
weird
to
that
think.
Pearl
We haven't
Bailey
had
is the first
any
person to lay gloves on somebody.
first punch
My
by
mom,
Pearl.
I tell this story a lot as like a people think I'm a smart ass now, but man, me at like 11 or whatever was really bad. And I sassed off to my mom one time and she Pearl Bailey'd me in the hall on the way to school. And that was the end of that. So
Dang.
yeah, so good for
Yeah.
Pearl Bailey. Get that kid in line. I was not calling my mom a swinger though. So,
Right.
a little different.
I just wish like it would have happened and Isaac's eyes would have just welled up and he would have just started bawling right there. Just
Oh.
can't help it. Just crumbles.
Mom, I'm so sorry. My girlfriend Rockstar loved me, and
She's gonna be like, go. I want you to go iron Roy's clothes. Like, go do something for Roy. Show him how sorry you are. Go get him a drink. Isn't that what you do?
Thank you, Isaac.
Roy.
This is a wonderful starched collar.
And again, you've really outdone yourself, Isaac. This is quite
Let
a
me see those molars.
look at the creases in my molars, bicuspids. We didn't see
I will
Isaac make
say-
one drink this week, by the way. Not one.
I was no. I don't
No.
think there were any drinks. They referenced a Harvey Wallbanger, but I think that was the only like
That was
drink
it.
low drink episode. If you're Roy, now I know these rooms are not big, but if you're Roy and you're trying to like make a good first impression on the Sun, and it is an awkward situation, maybe don't pop out there in your robe.
It's not like he's going to try the bathroom door. Are you
Right.
hiding a man?
Right.
Roy, what? Nobody's doing that.
Like it would have made it a lot easier for that first initial.
Yeah.
Meeting.
Just stay in the bathroom. Stay in
You
the
just
Yeah.
stay like Roy. I thought you were smart.
Is someone with an electric toothbrush in there, Mom? What is
That's
that?
awful. Just he comes out and he's just got so many dental tools. He's got mirrors and picks and just cleaning up my teeth. That's what I do 7 times a day. That's not crazy at all, Roy. Welcome aboard, son. And it was funny right after the smack, it went right to commercial. So it was kind
Right
of this
to
like
commercial.
right to
Yeah.
commercial.
That was great.
Cynthia reports that her cabin's been ransacked and a thief stole a diamond brooch. Captain gets gopher and orders him to track down the thief. As he races off, he runs into Anne without half her face showing, or with more than half of her face showing. And he gets that thing again, all smitten in the hallway. He just like he just loses it.
I was very
Stupid.
excited that we got, I believe, our second installment of Burl Smith, Boat Detective. He did about as good a job as the last time, but
Yeah, he's doing
Also,
a great job.
this goes back to what we said before about not having a security officer or something like that.
Yep.
So this lady gets her brooch stolen, which she did, but she didn't know it, right? Like she
32
passed out.
diamonds. Right.
Also, did she mention the monkey at all? They never talk about the monkey. It's
I
not
think
like
when
I
you
saw a
faint-
monkey, I passed out, and when I woke up, my brooch was gone.
Right.
They're just
Or-
like the room
Or
was
she's
ran.
like, no, there was a monkey, and they're like, you
Okay.
clearly don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy.
But she goes right to the captain of the boat with her crime. There needs to be somebody in between.
Well, she needs to respect the chain of command, in my opinion. Like, wouldn't you go to the most accessible? Well, it just shows you how ridiculously accessible the captain is.
I mean,
Oh,
you're
hey,
sleeping
by
with
the
the
way, while
doctor.
you're
He's
I
just
would
here-
wandering around the ship.
go to Doc. You're sleeping with the doctor. He knows who
Shouldn't
to
have time
talk
for
to.
that. He didn't want to hear that either. He's like, oh, la-di-da-di-da. Tell your story walking. I got no time for that. So Steubing pokes his head out and kind of barks at Gopher to hurry up, and comedy ensues. Mitzi wanders into the lobby, sees the promotional poster featuring herself and Lenny. She rips up his photo. Lenny sees a picture, draws a mustache, and marks out her teeth. That used to be a thing you did. You drew mustaches on people and you blacked out a tooth.
Oh yeah. He used to do like
I-
the curly mustache that went around.
Yeah,
all the time.
maybe
Yeah.
like a triangular beard or maybe eyebrows. I don't know.
Did was this the first advertised or planned Acapulco Room show?
Well,
Chara was a
Charo-
stowaway. Roxy Blue was asked on the spot. Barry
Comedian.
Keys strong armed his way in.
so he might
Lawrence
be. He might have
Henderson
been in the
took over
Acapulco
the
room.
Christmas carols. I don't think they've ever actually had a show where they had enough time to put a board up.
Well, did the band play in the Acapulco room when they brought the hay bales in? I wonder if that's the room they were in.
I think that was just the house band. House
Maybe.
band. You know, so
Oh, you're outside. You're talking about outsiders bringing in.
I'm saying like there was a promotional sign, right? They wouldn't have
yeah.
time to do a promotional sign for anybody else because half the time they're scheduling it like 3 minutes before.
Yeah,
So.
that's true. That's
Once
true.
again, Julie on top of it.
Julie's on
A
top
plus
of
effort
it.
from Julie this week,
You get an A plus.
except for
Julie.
the monkey thing.
Doing a hell of a job, except you let somebody bring a monkey on board.
Yeah.
But at least you didn't hit on anybody or throw yourself at a priest. So there's always that. Gopher returns to the cabin and he's dismayed to learn that Louise, as anyone could have seen coming, was the jewel thief who stole
Mm.
Cynthia Parker's brooch.
Hey, Mike, what if it was Jim Neighbors?
What if it, oh
That-
god. Oh.
Right.
Oh, that's a deep cut. I didn't think about
How great would
that.
that have been?
If you just see him in like a little
He's working with
passing
the
hallway.
monkey. Yeah.
Or he's working with Pat and the other guys. Turn him
The
into
con men.
thieves.
It's all an intricate crime network.
I hope the last episode is just like this meta thing, and the whole thing's just been, another
If it's
dream
not,
that
we're
Bob
writing one.
Newhart had.
Yeah.
Millie and Roy meet privately with Captain Steubing. They say, "Hey, we want to get off the ship. We want to fly back home."
This did not go well.
No,
Such a
no.
stupid captain. I just wanted to sick of that. Blah, blah, blah. Just it was, and it turned into the young people today, and Millie saying she's
So-
surprised how prim and proper Isaac is.
Mm.
This is a lot of Steubing trying to say we old people. So, Jamie, how old do you think Steubing is, the actor, at this time?
I mean, I want to say mid 50s.
So he's like 47 or 48. Pearl Bailey is 60 something. I looked it up. So like you're not of the same generation, Steubing. You look old, but that doesn't make
Right,
you
right.
old. So
That is true. He's talking like, "Oh, us," a lot of us vibe. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm surprised Roy isn't like, shut your damn mouth, Captain. I'm clearly 20 years older than you. Shut it. And you
I've
don't
never
do
seen
anything.
anything in a mouth as much as your nonsense.
Yeah, your mouth keeps moving. You just keep moving. You don't do anything.
I
All
think
you do is
Steubing's
eat
just
dinner.
trying to fit in, just with anybody. We're back on that track. He's just like,
Oh,
I'm
he's
old
eager.
too. We can bitch about our kids.
He's Captain Common Ground. That's all he's trying to do. And Millie says she's surprised how prim and proper Isaac is acting regarding her relationship with Roy, and Captain's like, "What?" And this is where I thought about the Captain's like, "What? He's not a saint. In fact, blah 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 blah. Just talking out of business about
Yeah, that's true.
seen openly canoodling with his girlfriend Charlene, and various points throughout the cruise." Forget what they're talking about. The worst, the atrocity of the scene is the fact that they're drinking coffee cups with no liquid, which is one of my huge pet peeves. Liquid or no liquid?
Yeah. Well, you're one of the great actors of our time, though, to be fair.
We'll never know, will we? Makes me crazy. Just put some water in the cup. Just put some water in the
agree.
cup. Why
Especially
don't
after
they do it?
last week. Last week, we actually commented on Bob Crane doing
He did a
outstanding
great
mug work.
job.
Yeah. So,
Liquid or
He did-
no liquid?
right. Exactly. You're a regular Bob Crane in every
Mm-hmm.
way.
Liquid. So, Gopher enters the lounge clutching the brooch. So his plan is to return the brooch and somehow stuff it into Cynthia's purse.
Right. Well, luckily
But-
the
but-
Parkers have no awareness
Zero.
around themselves in any
Zero.
way. So
Yeah, those light blue eyes of hers don't see anything.
no,
Which is
because
why
he
I
just
prefer brown
he
eyes.
just
It's just he
meat
didn't see
hands that
anything.
thing into the purse. Like it's just
Well,
like
it's not even in his pocket. He's got it like in his hand. Like the 32 diamonds are not going to shine with the lights of the thing. What do you do? It's
great
like
if he like stuck her with the pin. She starts
if you're
bleeding out. Like,
if you're trying to smuggle like a box of flashlights, don't turn them all on. That's all I'm saying. There's going to be light. It's going to be sparkly. Like what are you doing?
also, why
Ugh.
does everybody on this boat dance the same way? Doc and Gopher both danced with Cynthia like Shecky Green danced with Mrs. Brady.
Very,
It's just
very
this
similar.
just like
Like it's a little too fast. It doesn't
it's
really
way
make
too fast for the
sense.
music.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So this whole drama is looking at Gopher's looking at the purse that Cynthia's clutching. Anne's talking to Gopher, but he's so focused on this purse. He cuts in with Doc. God knows how he managed to open her purse, stick this giant 32 diamond brooch in her purse, close the purse before
Yep.
Doc came back and told him to get lost.
Hands of a safe thief.
No kidding. He's got 17 watches. Look at this.
Go for
So
the
he
same
goes-
guy who a couple weeks ago tripped over a suitcase and broke his arm. Now he's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and
master
his talent
sleuthing.
was Gopher, whose talent was putting a chef hat over his head, making it look like his belly button is his mouth, and dancing on stage shirtless. A man of maybe two talents: monkey
Now he's
and
Tom,
monkey
now
sitting
he's
is
Tom
not.
Cruise out of the ceiling.
Oh
dropping
yeah, look, I
things.
do my own stunts. I'm Gopher. So Anne suggests they go for a romantic moonlit walk. Gopher tells her to put a pin in that. Basically, well, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong thing. I apologize. He comes back to a miffed-looking Anne. She's sitting, and she explains that he cut it on Doc now because he wanted to make a good impression on her mother. Way to think on your feet there, Gopher.
I think Gopher out of nowhere. Gopher had some game.
She's
he
just
really
Anne's
did.
dumb as a box of rocks. That's why.
I
It's
agree.
just nothing.
I agree 100%. But
Just
Gopher?
nothing.
Gopher did good work here.
Somewhat smooth Gopher. That's a good. Somewhat smooth.
I mean, it was better than I expected.
He said he's up for that moonlit stroll with Brandy.
with a
that a-
brandy.
Is that a thing?
Mhm.
Is that a
Classic walking cocktail.
is that a romantic cocktail? Brandy?
Snifter?
Is that a Cavassier? Is that brandy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it's good enough for the ladies, man. It's good enough for this guy. On his way to the bar, he finds Louise seated on a nearby sofa chair. And when Louise takes off, he has to abandon the walk and chase after the chimp.
There are 600 people on this boat.
Nobody's screaming. Nobody's saying.
Hey, there's a monkey on a couch. Like, you gotta see that. Like, that was ridiculous. The hallway thing, fine. People are keeping to their own business. But if I'm sitting at the table facing out, I can
Mhm.
see that monkey on that
Of course you can.
ottoman.
And all the doors are glass, as we saw with Maxwell Smart put his nose on it. Like everything's glass. You see everything.
This is why I don't think
Ugh.
that monkey stinks, because I feel like that would have been the first thing.
Just the smell.
Yeah, so I think it's a very clean monkey.
But wouldn't you think if the monkey's in the dining room, and I would imagine that this monkey is food driven, right? Because he's just a regular monkey.
Oh,
Wouldn't
you think
wouldn't he
he's
just
going
go? Would he just be taken?
Yeah.
Right. He would just be
He would go ape.
just. Nice. We're on to Doc telling Cynthia that that his embrace makes her weak in the knees, and as they are smooching, Louise sneaks over, steals the purse. Cynthia sees it and then faints, and Doc is basically like, "Still got it. Didn't even need to
Did
use those
get it.
pills.
So great. Just so great.
Didn't have to do anything against her will.
Nope.
We're in international waters."
Yep. Thanks,
Julie-
monkey.
Yeah, anything goes out there. Julie and Isaac complain to Gopher about all the personal items Louise has stolen. Gopher says he has no idea where the chimp ran off to. A few seconds later, Anne arrives. Which, how the heck did she know where he lived? There's a lot of, okay, we'll give her that.
So I think
She's-
I actually think they live like next door to each other, which is how the monkey's getting back.
Right? It's pretty close.
Yeah,
Would you put
I
staff
think,
quarters next to guest quarters, though?
I'm not saying they should be. I just feel like they do because Gopher's always like right there in
Yeah.
all these scenes. So Anne is dumb. We've established this, right? So she
Box of
walks
rocks.
in and she's like, "Oh, you got a girl." So first of all, you met this girl. You know she works here. Second of all, there's a third person there too. It's like this isn't a date; it's a staff meeting.
So weird.
Come
She
on,
doesn't even
Anne.
get it. And they're like, she's
No.
not a girl. She's Julie. Like, poor Julie. Aw. Aw, poor Julie.
Julie needs a couple weeks. Julie needs a couple weeks of that's not a girl. That's
She
Julie.
does some
Yeah,
some
so-
detox from toxic
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
She got there to find out why they canceled, and he tells her she's in the he tells her that he's in the process of wading through some very complicated monkey business. Cynthia wails at Doc about the horror of the hairy little man in a dress who made off with her purse. To your point, you said, did she say anything? Maybe the last time, but she did say something.
Yeah, this time.
Oh, and Doc's like, no, it's cool. That was Gopher's pet monkey. Like it was like, wasn't that supposed to be a? Wait, how did Doc know about it?
This
If Julie and Isaac weren't supposed to say anything.
yeah,
Great question.
maybe he knows of the monkey from previous adventures.
I'm sure Doc's been to some wild parties. He's like, that's Louise. You should see what she can do with, a football. It's amazing. God
It was
knows.
me, Joe Namath.
The San Diego
Lawrence.
chicken. And Tex Schramm. We were all out
Doc-
having drinks one night at the Gaslight District.
Doc has like a minute here. It's so like subtle, but so yeah, he does the thing where he just automatically knows about the monkey and kind of is like no big
course.
deal. Then Steubing comes over, and you think it's gonna be a whole thing, and Doc's like, "Oh yeah," because Steubing tries to blow him up for taking a guest in the crew quarters, right, or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And then Doc just shut up, basically shut up, Steubing.
Shut up, Captain. What's
Then
wrong
the
with
monkey
you?
runs by into Gopher's room. So they go in, and it cracked me up so much. Doc's like, "Okay, there's the monkey. There's your stuff." Grabs her purse and they're gone. He's like, "I'm not hanging around for the rest of this nonsense."
He's
just like,
wrapping it up
We
with
got
He's
a
got
hot
plans.
date. Yeah, exactly.
He's got,
I thought that
like,
was
here.
so funny.
Here's your purse. Here's the brooch. Here's the monkey, and I'm out.
Right. Exactly. You all figure this out. I got stuff to do.
That's the quickest checklist that I've ever seen on the history of the show. That's fantastic. Wow. Gopher apologizes to Captain Steubing for bringing Louise aboard the ship, and Captain Steubing is pissed. Enough. He says, report to my office first thing in the morning with your bags packed, because you're getting kicked off the ship in Ensenada.
So, two things.
Yeah.
Overreaction, right? Like,
Classic.
I don't know what the rules are in terms of bringing a monkey on. Is that like an automatic fireable offense? I have no idea.
I think they
But-
should go for a tranquilizer dart before they start
But-
thinking about discipline at this point.
The thing we have to remember is this is a ship, but it's not a military ship. This is a business. So
Right.
if I
Bunch of
got
civilians.
fired, they wouldn't drop me off in Mexico. Like they would at least get me home, and they sure as hell would leave me with a monkey. So him and a monkey, or what? Taking a bus back from it's 4 hours. I looked it up. It's 4 hours to Los Angeles.
And he's still dressed like he works on the cruise. So he just looks ridiculous out there with his whites on, with no shoulder tabs.
Stupid.
this
I know
monkey.
you're pissed, dude, but have a heart. They let the girl that he fired that was trying to take Julie's job. They let her stay on the boat
They
that
didn't
night.
kick her out to Ensenada. Well, she,
Well, she was shacking up with that old man.
yeah,
but
she was
like,
shacking
still,
up with that old guy. So
but it's like that's cold, man.
That
This
is
boat's
cold.
going back.
that is cold. He's so quick to be like, not well, he's not so quick. He brought a monkey onto a cruise liner with people, put thousands of people's lives in jeopardy.
Due process. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
right. Due
So-
process. So Anne sort of chases after the captain, asks if she's firing him. Here comes serious captain. I will not discuss the ship's business with you. Like, all right, bro.
yeah.
She tells him that the chimpanzee belongs to her, and Gopher was gallantly protecting her from getting into trouble. She insisted if anyone should be punished, it should be her. And the captain says, then it will be, and immediately throws her off the boat. Boom, right to commercial. Didn't make any sense.
It's a commercial with that, and
Mhm.
but it has like a it's like
Yeah,
such a
like
weird end.
Weird, like
Scene.
whimsical.
Yeah.
After he threatens to do some weird punishment to
Like it's a
some
commercial,
passenger.
like it's a
but-
cartoon.
And her eyes got big. Her
Her eyes
giant
did get
blue
big.
eyes just
Her
get
giant
bigger.
Disgusting blue eyes.
What if they came back and there were just alligators with the nose bandage? Like they just tossed her into the sea.
Just
Oh,
nose first.
poor
Just held her
Anne.
nose in there, and then pulled.
No
her
more
face up
monkeys.
to no nose. Or she takes the bandage off, and the monkey goes right for it. Just rips it clear off of her face. Well, we don't want to. That'd be a terrible episode. I apologize.
How stupid?
mhm.
How stupid is Steubing that he got fooled by stupid Anne? Like
So dumb. He's so dumb. If you get fooled by her,
right,
and you're supposed to be the captain,
right.
come on, sir. Where's
This
your
is- maybe
awareness?
better he's not driving this boat.
Ugh, he's just clueless. And look how cleanly Doc handled the situation, and Captain looks like a dummy.
Mhm.
All this, so dumb. Next morning, Gopher reports with his suitcase, with his weird, like, warm-up jacket with his shoulder
Yeah.
tabs. Captain says, leave. He said nothing could be further, and then he found his chivalry charming. Tells Gopher he's proud of him and orders to get back to work pronto. Looks around for his hat, which we know. Oh, Louise stole his hat.
But so even if okay, so Steubing believes this story, right?
Mhm.
But were any precautions taken then?
No,
Like,
no.
where
Who's
does the
taking care of the
monkey
monkey at this point? They still just
where's
left the monkey.
The rest of right. And why is the monkey not? Did they just decide to lock the door? Is that what they
Just-
did?
That'll probably. How about put a chair against it? Although probably the monkey's probably a
Monkey's
little
arch nemesis,
stronger
a
than
chair.
than this
Yeah.
balsa chair. Yeah,
Have you even seen chairs in this place?
no chairs, no chairs at all. We're back in Isaac's cabin. I noticed something, that there is a record player and records stacked, and I thought, you're going to listen to records on a boat? Okay, moving on. Just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Why?
You can't, but that you're moving.
You're not
Like,
supposed to
it's-
feel it though, right?
Yeah, I don't think this
I don't know
boat
to
is
that
moving
level.
like it's not a rowboat.
But they have to move somewhat, I would imagine.
But by that logic, you couldn't have dinner there. If you're skipping a record, then you're like literally you can't put a glass on a table.
That's true. Maybe
I
maybe took
agree
it a
with
little too far.
you with
little
like
weird
the
to me.
outdoor stuff
Ping pong
should be
right.
more, but like I gotta think a record player is okay.
Well, because then I was like, well, how else would they do it? And maybe 8-track or something like that. But I think I was being a little ticky tacky, to be honest with you. A swimsuit clad Charlene tries to canoodle Isaac, but he grumbles that after the mom slap, he's not in the mood. Charlene rolls his
Finally.
eyes. Finally, right. Like he's probably just tired. Good Lord, Charlene. Keep it in your pants, lady. Jeez.
No cold shoulder or no cold
No.
shower, like getting slapped by your mom.
No, Charlene's got warm shoulders and a warm shower. This guy, he doesn't care. She rolls her eyes and tells him to lighten up about Millie wanting to spread her wings. I don't think it was spreading her wings. It wa-
Oh, I understand that joke.
yeah. I see you. God, it's awful.
How awesome would it have been if Roy Harwood would have come out of the curtain there too, like in Isaac's room?
Did you see his legs? I've never left your side. You see this trail of toothbrushes everywhere he goes.
He slaps Charlene on the ass.
Just getting it down.
I'm
Looking
tearing
good,
your
Charlene.
family apart.
He just gets real aggressive, puts his fingers in Charlene's mouth. Let's see those suckers. Let's go. Come on, just gets real.
Make me a drink, and he like
I'm
throws
also-
$5 at
I'm
Isaac.
also a horse doctor as well. Poor guy. God, that's funny. That's funny. Just standing there. Millie drops by the cabin with the jacket she repaired. She warns Charlene about the men on this cruise. Oh, here we go. Coming back around again. Thanks, Captain. And accuses Isaac of having two sets of rules, one for her, one for himself. You could tell Isaac's thinking about that. And he's like, you know what? I have been acting like a fool. And as they chuckle, because now they're laughing about the whole, because very quickly we just forget everything and go,
Sure.
Yeah, he explains he didn't think any man was good enough for her, except for Roy. And Millie says she's proud of him for being able to admit when he's wrong. And then the three share a happy group hug. That's nice. That's nice. So I feel like that that's a nice organic ending to that plot.
It is. It is. I'm still thrown off because like at one point Charlene mentions they've been going together for a while, and I'm just like,
Yeah, how long?
how long?
We need
Charlene?
definitions here.
Yeah.
That evening, in the Acapulco Lounge, Julie introduces the performers Mitzi and Lenny. And again, Lenny's got a broken hand or fingers. They're bickering as they enter, and they continue to bicker on the stage, and they love them. They
Crowd
think it's
eats
great.
it up immediately. There isn't
Going
one bad
crazy.
joke. This is just
Not
like
one
yep.
bad joke. See,
Yep.
they should open for Barry Keys or vice versa. These guys are
No, but
golden
this
here.
is the thing. Like
Mhm.
it was good. They were smart about it because it was like, no, the talent is there. They're like Simon and Garfunkel, right? Like these guys are a great act, but they just couldn't stand each other. But at what cost? Fame, so they got back together.
I mean,
for
they
them.
were ex everything except for exciting.
Exciting, yeah. But now I would say they were excellent.
They were
Ooh.
excellent. Mm-hmm. That is good. That is
Yeah.
good.
Oh, I'm writing for them. Did I tell you? Did I not tell you? I have to quit this show. Actually, I'm writing for Mitzi and Lenny. I'll see you in the Poconos.
Yeah.
Signing off. I will say this was an unusually long scene of them
Yes.
performing. It was it just stuck out.
Which is
and again, I
interesting
think they were
because-
stretching.
Well, and that was the thing because it didn't feel like a stretch show, but then when you look back and it's like this is probably the main storyline,
Mhm. Yeah.
and not a lot happened because like it is a
Nothing
lot of that
happened.
show. Yeah.
Nothing
Now
happened.
Don Adams is probably the biggest star, but
Yeah.
weird pacing with everything.
After the show, Lenny stops by Mitzi's cabin to talk about what a surprise success their act was. And they agreed that the two of them need each other when it comes to delivering entertainment. They start smooching. They say, "Oh, I've missed your kiss." And Lenny perks up when Mitzi invites him to spend the night in her cabin. Very quick.
Yeah.
her.
Well, I guess. I mean, if you're married
Ah,
for 10
it
years, it's kind of
That's not even quick. Yeah, right? Like
the
that's
old
yeah.
battle axe.
Yeah.
Um,
In the eyes of God, that's fine.
it is.
That's not even a sin.
I don't think so.
I assume
It's like
very religious.
it's like
group.
it's fine if you, as long as you're not. You know what I mean? One of those kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing. Isaac says goodbye to Charlene, who's then offered a lift home by Millie and Roy. That's very. We would be happy to give you a ride home, Charlene.
So do they all live in Los Angeles, do we think?
I'm guessing. Which you couldn't have a talk with Isaac? I'm
So
driving
is
you
Isaac from
home.
Is Isaac from Los Angeles then? Like, are we assuming they all live in LA?
Yeah, how do they know where Charlene lives? What if Charlene lives in San
You can
Antonio?
pass that information off. You think it's like, where can we drop you off? Idaho. Like it's
Yeah,
not like-
Idaho. Where do you live? Rhode Island. Like what? Oh, okay. Bit off more than I can chew.
But you are right. Like they don't indicate where anybody's from. So
No.
if they're all from Los Angeles, why didn't you have this conversation 2 weeks ago?
Isaac thanks Roy for not holding his attitude against him, and he's okay with him calling him son as long as he keeps his mom happy. This is the third
Aw.
time we've seen this, right? It's the third time with Sandy Duncan. The episode with the older gentleman and the girl with like the grandpa and is so creepy that this line, this sort of particular part of the storyline keeps repeating itself. Parents who aren't parents but are calling the younger person's son or daughter or something like that. I don't get it. I don't know why it keeps happening.
I mean, these are I get what you're saying. Those are three really different circumstances.
Right.
But
still,
I
it's
mean,
just like 3 out of
I think he's
14.
almost calling him son, like more like chief or ace than like son.
Wouldn't you think he'd be sensitive to that, considering like this is the first
He
guy
walked out
that
with
she's
his
dated?
junk hanging out of the curtain.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he would be sensitive. So, no, Roy Harwood does not have time for the modern man's
I don't
problem.
have time. I only wear pants when I need to wear pants.
I spend my whole day with my hand in some gross person's mouth.
Yeah, I'm in the
not gonna-
mouth.
I'm not going to put on airs on this boat
No,
vacation.
I air dry everywhere. I'm always a little damp.
Hey, you know what I'm going to call you, Isaac? Whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, hey, Isaac. Yeah, you're a bartender on a cruise ship. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a freaking dentist. All
That's
right.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. I got dentist money, not Princess Cruise Line money.
Yeah. You can call me Roy DDS.
You got
okay?
one
I'll call
jacket.
you
It looks like
son.
shit.
Look at you. You wear terry cloth and earth tones. You wear jackets with rips in it.
Can
How
we
about
talk
Stu been
about
cracking
that
down on
shirt
that?
you were wearing, son?
Get your jacket fixed, son. Awful. He does say Roy remarks on how right Millie was about his great teeth, and everyone chuckles about how nice eyes. I would love to be known for having the white, like the beautiful teeth.
Right?
What a cool
That's
thing to be
something
known for.
Something to aspire. You got nicest friend, maybe nicest teeth is the
I
next
did
thing to
get
go
nicest
for.
friend. And
Still bothers
fat.
Missy to this day.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is just an extra bonus.
Yeah. It's just, makes it better.
The last scene, the last part of the last scene in Act 4 is always this, where it's like some weird joke, laugh for way too long, wrap it up, and then you're like, oh wait, there's one more scene. Like it always feels like the end, and then they have a tack on thing. Like this felt like the end of the show.
I think each writer's got to
back with
wrap it up.
else.
Like each writer's got to wrap up their stories, but it's like
then wrap them
three
all up in
big
the
wrap
epilogue.
ups.
Yeah, like
I don't get it. Lenny and Mitzi tell Julie they're going to limit their bickering to the stage and then make an immediate exception as they start arguing back and forth before getting off the ship. Gopher asks Anne if he can call her once he drops Louise off, and she says, yeah, or you'd better, she says. Doc kisses Cynthia goodbye and watches in amusement as Louise races back onto the ship with a stolen suitcase while a panicked Gopher follows in close pursuit.
so good job by Gopher. One of the only people we've seen who actually makes arrangements going forward. Like usually these people leave the boat and it's like, well, I guess I'll never see you again because technology doesn't exist. Like they have made plans. Good for them.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. And
that's it. That is season 1, episode 14 of The Love Boat.
Yeah. So, totals and recap. King of the Mountain. This is not the best episode ever. But I will say this. It was perfectly fine. We always talk about like 3 for 3 storylines. Nothing was bad. Nothing was like a complete miss. Nothing was great.
It's sort of pedestrian, but
I think they really needed, like, if it had been like 2 of these storylines and then like a really, really good top storyline, this actually would have been great. But they didn't give Pearl Bailey enough, and the other story wasn't anything. Like, it was like they just needed one more main storyline to actually make it. But nothing was bad. Like, it was a perfectly solid episode, but it was like all B storylines.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely would say that this was not, the number one. This is by no means King of the Hill, but I enjoyed it. It was okay. It didn't bother me in any way. There was some little issues, but yeah, no, this is not.
I mean, how many? I feel like we've been on a streak where there's at least one of the 3 storylines that is absolute garbage, and we like actively hate it. So,
well,
that
I mean,
didn't
the storyline with the yeah, it wasn't like that. It was okay. It was okay. I mean, it's light.
I'm not
It's
saying
light.
the monkey and daughter storyline was great, but it wasn't like I didn't actively hate it.
No, it was fine.
It was better than the
it
dog.
was just fine. It
Yeah.
was better than the dog episode. Yeah.
All right. Captain of the week, Jamie. What did you think was the best part of this episode this week?
Oh gosh, best part of the episode. I'm just gonna have to go with Julie laying down the law, flipping the coin, and telling the loser has to pay for their own way. I was
She
proud
handled
of her.
Good
Yeah.
for you, Julie.
Very no nonsense, which we have not seen very often.
Mm-mm.
Mike, Captain
I'm
of the
gonna
week.
go with Roy Harwood because now his I'm running wild with the Roy Harwood character in my mind now, and I'm sure we're gonna hear more about Roy Harwood in episodes to come as the
Yeah,
legend
I'm
of
sure
Mr.
he's a
Harwood
recurring
continues.
character.
Yeah, I thought he was great voice, and just kind of ballsy to come out of a bathroom while his son's having a serious talk with his mom with no pants on the way that Roy did. Amazing.
I think I agree. It was a very like the stars were really good. Pearl Bailey was really good. Don Adams was really good. The stars did a good job. I'm gonna go with Gopher though. He finally got his own episode. Not even his own episode. He basically split it with Isaac. But it's the first Gopher focused episode, and I thought he was pretty good. He was doing stuff with a monkey and fighting with Steubing and hooking up with that dumb girl. Like it was a lot.
So dumb.
Poor Anne.
Poor Anne. Just imagine her being that dumb with a terrible nose. Imagine that. That's why she did it. She's like, well, I'm already dumb as a box of rocks. I might as well get done with my giant.
Maybe she didn't
Whatever
take the
was going
band-aids
on.
off her brain surgery.
She didn't even have nose surgery. The doctor was just like, she stuck a Band-Aid on her face.
It's one of those
Oh, I
breathe.
feel so
There you
much
go.
better. Yeah.
It was the first breathe right. It was just like,
She was just trying to dress her like Neil Smith. That's all it was.
walk the plank. Mike, what was the worst thing this
It's
week?
Louise. Just Louise.
Really?
Yeah, it's just if you're gonna have a monkey on an episode, I need more than the monkey just wanders around stealing things.
What do you want?
I need I need the monkey giving raspberries. I need things like that to happen. All the monkey did was just open her mouth.
So you need
I
more
need more from the
classic
monkey.
bits.
I need more.
Yeah,
Clyde would have done more in every which way but loose.
like a monkey driving a little car.
Yeah, the monkey's not doing anything. Same outfit. Can I get an outfit change? Something.
Monkey in a tux feels like a miss.
Huge
I
miss.
know Louise
Or
was a lady, but
right, or like a put her in a wedding dress or something. I mean, something like make me laugh. Moo something. Okay. Yeah. Louise.
Jamie, worst of the week.
I'm going to say Cynthia's fainting episodes that she continued to have every time she saw Louise.
Yeah.
Silent fainting too.
Just-
She has some weird, she gets some hairy monkey syndrome, some rare thing. She faints at the sight of a monkey.
But you think it would be like, oh my god, it's a monkey.
Right.
Right? So funny. Or at least she would tell Doc, while they're laying in bed.
Doc
Post-coital.
doesn't care. Doc's not
Doc's like-
listening. Doc is
Doc's like,
not
yeah.
listening.
Blah, blah, blah. I didn't even know you had hair.
Yeah. Could you faint now? Jesus.
Who is your worst of the week, Mike?
Like I said, it was hard. It was harder for me to come up with. I really got hung up on the Isaac being a liar to Charlene thing. And for his hypocrisy. So it sucks because I think Isaac was good in some parts, but I also think it was just like you're supposed to be the Jiminy Cricket of this boat, and you're kind of coming off like it was a real Steubing move, actually. Some of it,
Yeah, kind of undercut the
plus that
character.
shirt was awful.
Hmm.
Just
I hate to
as-
give it to Isaac on his episode, but
I'm gonna look for that shirt everywhere possible. I've got to find that Isaac
Oh, we could
Terry
just sew
Close
that
shirt.
baby up. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's totals and a recap for this week.
Fantastic. So you can find us on Instagram at Loveboat Project. You can find us. We have a Facebook group, Loveboat Project, on Facebook.
Fred
Join us
Grandy
next.
loves
What's that?
Fred Grandy loves our Facebook page.
Well, does he?
I don't know.
We may or may not. Well, we'll see what happens with the Fred Grandy. To be continued. Join us next time. Mike, do you like murder? Do you like mystery? And do you like Desi Arnaz Jr.?
I mean, yes.
If you say yes to any of those three, then you're going to love.
You don't
next
like
time
murder
that we
or
hang out.
mystery. You just pointed that out that you don't like murder
No.
or mystery.
I love Desi Arnaz Jr., though. That's my guilty pleasure.
It is
Until
a
next-
two-parter next week, which is exciting.
Two-parter.
Ooh.
Our first two-parter. So we will have two guests next week. Very exciting.
Well, thank you for joining us. Jamie, thank you so much for watching and enjoying a 45, 46-year-old TV show with us. We appreciate your time, and it was great having you as a guest.
I had a blast. Thank you guys.
Fantastic. All right, until next time, everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.